We're starting the live stream here in a couple minutes. Give us a minute to set up.
I give you permission to have one more.
Here. Set this one up and then turn off all that shit. Yeah, sorry guys, it ain't on my computer, so I can't really set this shit up straight. What's up?
It's my face.
Yeah, you on my podcast, bitch.
What are we talking about?
What? We getting on a podcast?
Random shit.
Ow.
Okay.
Ow. Nephi, get
No.
a shirt on. You're gonna get him banned.
No man nipples. It's as bad as women nipples.
Naked bitch.
I mean, women have
6 minutes.
shirtless.
That's how Twitch sees it.
No,
It's
less
naked
than
bitch.
6 minutes.
It's like
Look at my game. You'll see how many.
I'm not on your game.
My game is behind you, pendejo.
Do all the clicking to
Oh my
record.
God.
This time
You
I'm
would-
gonna be the chair instead of him. Amber, we're flipping places.
Oh, babe.
You brought the chair over, sit down, motherfucker. You want to flip flop? We'll flip flop. I don't care.
We should have brought your,
Just to make sure.
fuck, what's that game
everything's all
called
set
again?
Just because of the fact that Amber put me
Animal
in the
Crossing.
fucking chair before.
Babe, we should have brought
that
your
chair
Animal
before.
Crossing. They're going to this whole New Year event.
And I can't even see myself, so we're gonna have to move that.
And we got the Harley Quinn.
You're gonna
have
need
to
to move
move
this
that.
way. Oh,
No,
That's
move
why
that so
I-
I'm
Hi,
in
Grogu.
the screen.
That's why I moved too.
Oh, yeah. Have you guys even seen my shirt?
Yeah, right there. And then on the. Yeah, sorry for the badass. Not
Guys.
working completely.
no.
Okay, fine, you do it.
Thomas.
I'm stepping back.
She knows right where to go.
What?
Just
That works better.
remove, because we aren't reviewing that again. Dun.
Down, asshole.
Down, Simba.
Move, bitch.
Is there a way to move the camera up
Yeah.
right here? Because you're like, it's getting off my head. Because I'm tall in this chair.
Alright, one sec. Let's.
Is this gonna happen?
Alright. So, Tim, I need.
I can't move one.
No.
That's live right now.
Let's see. Well, that one is. So everybody's seen us do our fuck up shit beforehand. I'm like,
Set up.
set up for the recording, so screw it.
Set up.
There, dude. That's as far as I can go. So you either sit right here in the
Okay,
middle,
so-
or you just chill.
Fucking dick.
No. Amber, move.
I am trying to fix my green screen, hoe. I will kill you. I will
Yeah.
chop your dick off.
I will
record
chop
it.
your
Otherwise,
titties
it's
off.
preset.
Please do.
Record it.
Yeah, screw it. The background that's half the floor.
Oh my god, guys!
No, I'll chop
You
your.
didn't realize that you said it.
I'll,
And it fucking fell.
I'll chop your balls
Goku's
off. Nico.
falling off the world. Check.
I'll chop your balls off, Nico. Cam don't need them anymore. Right, Cam?
Sorry, y'all on Twitch. We got a green screen, but I don't know how to do that shit on my phone. So
You can't.
sorry,
Well,
homies.
No, okay, stop. It needs to move back.
Well, they see the
Thomas,
Amazon anyway.
No. You-
No.
It
No.
needs to move that way.
It can't move
No,
that way.
it needs to move back that
No,
way.
look,
It
my head
can't.
blocks it. Shut up.
No, he's talking about over there.
Let's talk about this side.
No, Amber,
You
it moved.
can't.
No, that
Okay,
part
no.
is this side, Nephi.
Nephi, you literally have to sit something heavy on top of the corner to pull it out
Yeah,
like
so
that.
just take the bag and put it right there.
Connor, I mean, Nephi, that's the wrong side,
That's what
homie.
he-
No,
No,
it's
he's
not.
trying to freaking do that. But see, Nephi, you
Stop.
have to put something on top of it.
I got this.
Put your dick on top of it. That should be heavy enough.
I know, but
God damn it, where's the good beer?
the phone should also be heavy enough.
No, I was gonna say, hand him your freaking big ass cup.
Don't drink haha juice on Twitch.
Your
you get in
big ass
trouble.
cup.
Yeah, no drink
No,
haha.
not
No,
Thomas's
the
full
empty one.
The empty one. Yours.
What am I?
Oh my god, fuck it.
Because-
I got a bag of books.
2 minutes.
Okay, in
I
2 minutes we're screaming Jumanji because F the world and we're gonna destroy it all.
You mean 1 minute and 33 seconds?
I mean a blowjob for everybody who wants one.
No thanks.
No.
Okay, is that good?
Yeah,
Aye.
it's about as good as you can do. Don't worry about
What?
any bullshit, dude. I just gotta keep my head here to block off the freaking.
Alright, now let me.
You think?
You couldn't be more. Amber. Where we
No,
gonna do
it's
our
the crazy
big night
peas.
thing?
No, I gotta go.
You have
Gotta go
Thomas.
downstairs.
Yeah.
No, nigga, you
We
got
have to go down.
Fine.
You can't kiss on live.
Yeah, I can move over there.
Yeah, you come to
Just
me.
bring me my damn e-cigarette,
to
somebody.
kiss me.
Cigarettes?
E-cigarette.
E-cig.
That's a cigarettes? We don't have fucking cigarettes. We have e-cigs.
That's what I said. My e-puff.
But yes, you're gonna have to
Are you
come over
recording
here
all the
because
craziness?
we
Yes, I'm
can't.
recording all the craziness.
Good.
It is live right now.
And 1 minute.
36,
Sure.
34, 33,
Okay,
32.
this is a podcast about
31,
nothing. We're doing
29,
whatever. We're talking about
28,
whatever. 'Cause
27,
that's how we roll.
26, 24, 23, 22, 21, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15,
Everybody left me. It's all
13.
mine.
12. Come here. 11,
Which is
10,
what I expect to do
9, 8,
8,
7,
7, 6,
in
5,
4 years when I
4,
become governor.
3.
Do it my
2,
way. Fix the system the
1.
way I think it should be fixed.
Happy fucking New Year!
Happy
Jumanji!
2020 can suck my dick!
Jumanji!
2020 can suck my freaking.
Jumanji!
My
Did
butt.
you not see my post I posted earlier? I think I
Jumanji.
posted it on Facebook too. It's 2 and the toilet paper rolls
Oh God,
are
my nose looks like
2020.
ass.
And we finished wiping
Hold
our
on.
asses with one of the rolls, so it's just a freaking cardboard middle. You fix it.
So,
Cut off
so at
for
the same
fucking-
time, every one of us, all at the same time, just so it's on the stream and everything, all in the chorus. 1, 2, 3.
Jumanji!
Jumanji!
Fuck off.
I'll be right back. I gotta go do something. Yeah. Come with me.
Son of a
Big
bitch is
goofy.
fucked over there too.
Dude, don't worry about it.
So this
Screw
is
it.
the Crazy
Why
Peas
told her to go down
podcast in
there?
which we're all crazy in hell and
Yeah.
everything.
Sup.
We got a new P today.
Yeah, we got a new P.
This is my little brother.
The leg strength is real.
And this is episode 2, Crazy Peas.
I'm not grabbing my dick. Don't worry.
Sure, child.
Aliens.
Yes.
My tootsies are gonna be cold, but I'm gonna go bake pots outside real quick.
Pussy.
Go check out Nico's place too.
Yeah, make sure that doesn't light on fire.
But like, so this is episode 2 in which we're gonna talk about a bunch of random stuff. But we're gonna try
First
and
day of the year.
we're gonna have like some focus on like storytelling and other shit that like we were talking about before. But it's gonna mostly be crazy ass 2021 stuff.
Thomas, I got some crazy story we got.
What?
The time we went to have a smoke in the park and ended up in on a game of Truth or Dare.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
That's-
Oh yeah, you remember?
that
Okay,
shit.
that was some crazy ass shit. Okay, that story.
What year was that?
That was this last year. So we're sitting there and we're smoking cigs in the park. We're just walking around the block, just having a good time, trying to blow off some steam. And fucking some kids are in the park running around them. One of them's a chick. They come from Job Corps apparently, and
Because they hide out.
Yeah.
Yeah, John Ford's just right across the street
Yeah.
from where we were.
Thomas,
And so
go get your phone.
the one chick, she like lays a fat ass fucking kissy kiss on Nico or on Nephi, and both have names starting with N. But like on Nephi and.
This? Well, over.
No, bitch,
And so the kids are sitting there and they're in the park and
Out on the street.
they're kind of drunk. Like, it's obvious they've been drinking, and they're all having fun.
I've only had one. Come on.
Yeah,
Bob
you
your
had
head
like
behind
one.
me if
I
you're
had
gonna
like
drink that.
I had like half of one because I was trying to keep it tame. And we're walking on the
Don't
block,
grab that ass.
and we're sitting there and just hanging out, and the kids are playing Truth or Dare, and so they start daring each other to do stuff, and they start like asking us to dare them to do stuff.
No,
And
wait, you forgot the main thing.
Okay,
One
yeah,
of
you
them
helped tell
ran
the story.
over and looked me dead in the eye.
that's what I just said. It's like she lay a fat ass fucking kissy kiss on you.
No, that's not the one.
Oh, okay.
When we were still over smoking our cigarettes,
Yeah.
the one dude that ran over and asked, "Hey, you want me to suck your dick?" Straight up. And I
That
was,
was some crazy
confused
ass
as hell.
shit.
suck your dick?
No.
No, offered.
Offered. This was before you. This is
no,
pre-cam.
They got dared
Pre-wife.
to come over
This
and
was
run
a year.
over and
a half
ask if they
Okay.
could suck one of our dicks.
Yeah,
You
and
wanna
like
get him can bam.
The one dude really badly wanted to. Like he was like telling us to dare him, like, triple dog dare him, and then he backed out.
Your man broke the
Fucking
freaking
Nephi was like,
F-word
I'll pull it
freaking
out, and
thing
they were
within
just
the
like,
first
no.
2 minutes of
And then he
stream
was like,
last
yeah,
time.
I don't think it's a good idea either. And so like they both like
If you
ended up
actually
daring him
watch
to
it
do
on
other
YouTube,
stuff.
you'll see.
And then next thing you know, the two dudes are trying to get into the girl's pants, and a bunch of other weird shit happened. So that was a crazy story.
Keep it basic.
2020 can suck my balls.
Dude, they straight. Thomas, you remember the
Quit
one?
hiding your face, Goober, if you're going to tell
I'm
the
not
story.
trying to. So, they asked. They dared
I'm the
me
editor
to
of
chug
Midstream.
one of the canned bikes, the big canned bikes. So I pounded that.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, that's one of the few things I remember.
Because someone dares you to do something really crazy, and chances are you'll do it.
Yes. We're evil like that.
Yeah,
You
bro.
can't do this. I bet you I can.
Who dared Nephi to knock me up?
No one.
You did. When you married him.
No, remember he said, I want you to have my kid right
Oh.
as he put it in you.
Fucking.
He dared himself. No, Cam?
But
Karma's
I
up.
was riding him.
No, Cam. You know who dared him?
The
When
universe.
I rode him.
Your vagina.
And his dick. His
See,
dick.
we talk about random shit on my podcast. Well, on our podcast.
Yep.
My podcast. My
Yeah,
stream.
Your Twitch stream, our
Our video.
podcast, either way.
YouTube
crazy
is
piece.
gonna definitely monetize our asses.
By
Yeah.
the way, the stream can probably not
Can-
hear me because I have that now
Can we
voice
fix
suppression
that?
on, remember?
Oh no, it don't hear.
Oh, it hears you on
No,
the other
no.
one.
Can we fix this?
What?
This?
Fix what?
No, this.
What?
This?
What about the? No, don't worry about that, dude. It
But
was
it's
in the
reg-
last one.
It can
Shut
fucking
up.
hear you.
Alright.
You move the microphone and it's not gonna hear shit, dude.
No, I
Dude.
was talking about the pop filter. The circle.
There's a
No,
pop filter
don't
on
worry
it.
about it.
This pop
so we
filter.
just take off the round one.
No.
Because I don't want to lose it.
This
Dude,
is
okay,
the pop
listen
filter.
to me. Last time, go onto your phone, YouTube.
I don't have my
Dark.
phone.
Well, I can't hand you mine. Mine's up there. I'm streaming this crap.
Yeah, because we stream it.
Now, when I get a freaking save up the money in here in a month or two, actually, if everything works out, on my birthday, I'm gonna go buy myself a laptop so that way we don't have to use my phone. My laptop will be right here. We're gonna have to move some of this stuff. Put my laptop right here for the stream from Twitch, and then we can do the blue screen too.
Yep.
So that way we'll have it on the
You just
recording
download
and
the,
mine.
Yeah, you just download the OBS and then you position
Yep.
your green screen and there
I
you
mean,
go.
that was my plan for midnight, but that's besides the point.
What was your plan?
No, Jose's
rape
saying
you.
Andrew's probably banging Rachel, and that's why he hasn't seen the messages.
Not like it matters.
So he's gonna get his red wings.
Dude, if you ain't got that by the time you're 18, you's a bitch. That's my
That's how I
friend.
got-
Dude, he didn't lose his
That's the
virginity until he was 18.
Point in case then.
He lost it to a 15-year-old.
No, see, here's the funny part. I lost everything except for intercourse virginity by the time I was 14?
Yep.
I was gonna say 12, but it was gonna be nice.
What, 12?
Well, I'm talking about eating.
yeah.
So 12. BJ's, I lost that in the first grade. I'm ahead of the curve. Just is what it is.
But yeah, so as far as this goes, like, what's some of everyone's favorite movies or stories?
Feels like he's a fifth wheel.
Okay, my favorite book series is Dragon Prince.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've ever read it. I have it at
you
home.
told me about it and I've seen it on the internet.
It's a really good series. I like it because it talks about dragons and how. God, I can't reach. What, the Mexicans not gonna jump in? We got somebody from everywhere.
Get in here, a-hole.
Yeah, you're like nodding the camera, like your hands are right there.
Stand behind
Hand
Nephi.
reveal! Hand reveal!
Hand reveal!
You lost the game, homie.
I got it.
He got what he wanted.
I went, eh.
He snuck in and did the whole.
Yeah.
Yeah, but does anybody really remember that game? I mean, if you ain't old enough,
do you mean?
one, you shouldn't be watching our stuff. Two, you done lost, homie. But anyways, the book's about this guy's dad, who basically owns the most prominent land
Yeah.
in the desert of the of the
A
world,
little bit, but I mean, that's only if you eat like a bunch.
that is where most of the dragons go and breed.
Yeah.
And what his dad knows and doesn't tell him, but he finds out after his dad dies because he goes to the dragon breeding ground to find out that's where why his dad was the richest king or prince, because they don't go by king, it's prince. You have the head prince and then the whole princess. So it's not the whole king queen thing, but he finds out that the eggs from all the hatching dragons is actually made out of gold, and that's why his dad was the richest one, because he's got the biggest thing. And the sun
On the dope.
dancers, I think,
Jose.
I'd have to look it up. I haven't read the book in like 2-3 years. But anywho,
Plug it.
you have the basic ones that can do basically talk across hundreds, thousands of miles through the sunlight and the moonlight if it's a full moon and there's no clouds. And his aunt, which is the head of the sun, whatever, basically sets him up with the pupil she wants. And the funny part is, the guy who's the head prince, who ends up getting killed in the book, rapes his wife, and he kills him for it. But the guy's daughter, who wanted to be his basically queen, his princess,
Hey Thomas, sorry to interrupt.
ended up raping him while he was drunk, and he thought it was his
Which
wife
picture?
because she put some sort of poison or whatnot in his drink,
Yeah.
and she raped him, and his wife ended up going and grabbing the kid, and the second book is basically them raising the kid as their own, not telling anybody that it's not her kid.
Yeah.
But because of the bloodline from the head prince's bloodline through the daughters and whatnot,
Hey, Cam.
is actually
I'm gonna
a
jump.
sun runner. That's what it was, runner. Who can do it through starlight,
I like that
Okay.
expression.
the most minuscule light in the world. And at the end of the first book, that's how they kill the head prince guy after he rapes his wife. His daughter rapes him.
When my stimulus comes in, I should probably actually just buy the series.
I have it at home, dude. I can just bring it over.
Like,
You can read it.
I'm gonna
Oh yeah,
jump.
we can post definitely.
Like what, 12 books, 6 books?
I have
Only head.
the 6 books that I originally knew, and I just found out that the 3 or 4 books beforehand,
Yeah.
and I haven't bought those yet. Those are the ones
I've
I
only
haven't
had
bought.
3. No.
Which tells the backstory, because Dragon Prince came out first, and they did that trilogy. Then they did the second half, which is basically the
Okay,
Sun's
babe.
trilogy for the most part.
Did you go down and
And then he wrote the pre-trilogy
kiss her for
books.
2 years?
And I haven't read the pre-trilogy book, but I know most of the lore and background from reading the first book and reading some of the other books here and there over the years. I know 90% of the lore.
Yeah.
And when I found out that the other books were out, I looked at them and I'm like,
Make sure
I
you're
didn't know
timing
this
it,
shit.
Cam.
Babe.
Oh, you know what? Buy it just so that way I have the full series.
So
I
what's
haven't
your
done it yet.
favorite scene in this whole story?
Cam.
Because you sort of like described it holistically and then bounced around between places. So what is your favorite scenes that you have on there? Like what gets you really going into it, and like what drives that as being a possible influence in your own work?
She's worried about
What,
you.
what drives me is it's the whole. The Sunrunners are like witches, but yet they're not. They just have a special gift because of their bloodline. But also the princedoms, it's the who's the biggest one.
Look at her.
But because the one that was the original head guy who
Yeah,
won
3
his
times.
I'm the top
Yes.
princedom
I fucking
was a
know
complete
how to
dick.
roll
I like
ball.
that because he was an asshole, a rapist, and just a complete douche.
Dave,
They ended
Russ,
up
are you dehydrated?
killing him. And the guy
Okay.
who deserved it, which was the main character at the beginning of the book, actually got what he should have had from the beginning, because his father basically ran everything under the head assholes, because everybody owed his dad money essentially.
No, I
Yeah.
don't order glasses.
But he did it in such a no. We're not gonna say no. You're poor. Shut the fuck up, like the other guy did. No. We accept everybody. We're all family technically because of how many years we can breed in and we stay in our own little section of the world.
I'll just go.
Let's all be friends.
Yeah.
Let's not do this infighting. No,
But that's because of my English.
I'm related to this guy. Can you prove it? Yeah, and then they gotta prove it through the bloodlines and the, you know, this was my mother's
Isn't
father, and da 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 da.
it
It's like, no,
Wait,
we accept you.
forgetting one thing.
We know who's who, and just because your title's like Duke,
Let me know when it
you're
ends.
still part of the family.
Yeah.
That's what I like about it. It's not the kind of like I always talk about. It's not I'm Islam.
Yeah,
I'm
if you flip
Jewish.
the
I'm
switch on the
fuck you.
thing,
We all believe in
it'll
God.
turn
We
on
all
the
have different names
filter.
for it, but it's all the same asshole. And even with the freaking, if you look at the old school religions, the paganism and whatnot, technically there's one guy in charge. Now each religion say it's a different guy, but technically it's the one guy who's in charge of everything.
Yeah.
Like Odin, the All-Father. Okay, if we go by that, then Odin is basically Kratos, because Kratos was the one who was the father of all the Greek gods and the Roman gods. So, no matter what, you go back, it's the greater gods,
Yeah.
the first ones, or the ones before them, the grandfathers, and it just became, okay, no, that's just God. All these other things, no, they're not really gods, they're more like angels and archangels. Well, it's the same thing, it's just a
So
hierarchy.
that was longer
Let's
than
take out the
1
hierarchy,
minute, so
which is why I
it's
want to
only
get
if they're
into
5
the
minutes apart,
whole
less than
government
1
thing,
minute.
because I don't want,
So
I
because
hate
you
the
found
hierarchy
out
how it
that
is.
was
It's like,
the
no,
long
let's
one.
spread it to everybody.
For like 30 minutes.
And
The first
no
one was
offense,
like
the whole
21
end of the world, all the
Actually,
money's
wait,
the
no,
same.
it
There's no
was
such
8
thing as
minutes, 30
religion.
seconds when you
That's
don't
bad from a religious point of view for the Christians and a few of the other religions, but the end is,
The first one lasted
if you
21
do it
I was
properly,
looking, not in the bathroom,
especially with the
whenever-
money, like, no, it's not dollar bill, it's not euros, it's all the same.
Okay,
Yeah.
We all have the same.
Please don't open that up
Because
here, trying to
technically,
get our furnace
all the
running.
money right now is all,
Gonna make the furnace run harder.
it's imaginary, it's all digital.
Yeah.
It's
'cause-
complete bullshit.
Yeah, because they
Okay,
print it out
okay.
like crazy and they, create more of it rather than.
Well, and with our last
wife.
President
Yeah.
Trump, with his
How
fucked
you
up as he
doing?
made it, because, ooh, the market's going down, stocks suck, let's dump money into it.
Yeah.
Hey, look, the stocks are good. Yeah, but that means the freaking dollar bill went from being $1
So,
to 75 cents. Dollar's worth 50 cents. Now it's worth like fucking 10, 15
Yeah.
cents.
and it's
Yeah,
gonna be
because the
easier.
dollar, because like, well, they
Because
also pumping
Canadian
money.
money's worth more.
I didn't say
Any
you had
money
it.
from Europe,
Pull out your
the
battery, I
pounds,
just
the actual euros, everything's worth
No,
more
the
than American
shirt-
dollars.
Is it
Why don't we
really
just
how nice
take it
is
all
for
out?
pregnant belly bitch?
It all
Oh,
means the
no.
same.
The shirt
A one's a
is
one.
like-
I don't give a shit
Okay.
what it's printed on. It's all means the
Can
same.
you
If
turn
it's
my
digital, if I
Yeah,
pay
underbelly.
$5 in America
Your
for
what?
something, it's $5 or 5 pounds or
Never turn one
5
off.
loons or whatever the bill is everywhere. We just figure out what means what. Because I know
That's probably
you have
what
the
it is.
pounds
It's
and then
causing you to
what's
have
the other one?
contractions.
I can't remember. But the pounds is like the 1, 2. It's the ones marker, and then the next one up, and I can't remember what its name is basically the tens place.
Yeah.
Well, I have 20 this. Okay, so you have $200. Why don't we just set it all the same? Figure out an equal way to make it so where all the money's the same. Because all it is a promissory. Because technically, all the loans we have out for cars and homes, it's all bullshit. It's
Yeah, it's
I
built
have
up-
the money.
Okay.
Do
okay.
you actually have the money?
Yeah, because
no,
it's built
it's
up
all
the
fake.
predication that you're going to end up being able to pay it every single month on, in auto pay. Or you're
Well, it's
gonna
not
pay
even
it,
that.
and
I
you're
was
gonna
watching somebody
be
last
lending
year
it.
who was talking about the banks in Africa and how he was opening a whole section, and I remember the name of the region in Africa, but as they tell the banks to, no offense to people who don't like that symbol, but anywho, but basically tell them to F off because,
The bird.
no, actually, this finger is for responsibility, so when you flip everybody off, you're like, my responsibility, not yours. Technically.
So you're saying the dirty bird is technically a responsible figure in
I know where it is.
society and
It's
culture.
it's supposed to be responsibility. Well, because the middle finger is your responsibility finger. Relationship finger is the ring finger. And I can't remember the rest because I don't have the book from the
it hit you. It hit you
one of the
pretty hard.
courses. You know what I'm talking about, like Kirk Duncan does, but
Yeah.
they have the body language one. This
Yeah, 'cause
means
they have,
this.
like,
This
the
means
hands.
this.
And like
Well,
the
each
index
part of your
finger-
body, depending on which
index
way you move
finger,
it.
like means something and the
Uh huh. And the left hand's your past, and the right hand's your present and future.
Unless you
Right,
are in
and then, like,
labor,
you
it is
have,
not
like,
actual
So whenever your
responsibility.
finger breaks,
and you have like certain fingers that mean a certain
like
thing.
if your nail breaks on your left finger, okay, you're
Yeah, that's what
basically
heart rate
broken a
said.
past relationship.
It's
Sometimes
actual
that's good,
contraction.
sometimes that's bad. But if it breaks on
No,
your
I'm
right
full of shit
finger,
again.
you're figuring out cracks or whatever.
You're full of shit.
That basically means
He shits
that
Yeah,
you're
but so are
having
you.
issues, or
not
yourself you
understanding.
feel like you're having trouble with the current
honestly
relationship
thought I was
or a
having
relationship
further
that is
Okay,
building for the future. It's
like-
basically going to crap now. So either let it go or figure out how to fix it and build it stronger.
Yeah.
Amber, does that phone take
So
USB-C?
it's like, so one of my favorite series, like
Okay.
stories wise,
Jose, your
is,
charger.
like you know one of them,
Star
Supernatural.
Wars.
Supernatural, and then you got Star Wars.
That'll
As
work.
far as books go, I would say that one of my favorites,
There is an
Turns
outlet
out
right
outlet
became
behind
my
right
favorite
behind
one when I was 19,
right behind
was the Cirque du Freak series. That's it's young adults vampire series. It
Okay,
was
yeah,
less
yeah,
of
yeah.
a focus on let's make it as gory as hell or let's make everyone fuck each other. It's more of like a focus
didn't
on
realize-
how to introduce a world where vampires know honor and where vampires know like rule, like they have their own sort of laws and rules. The most impactful.
They're the royalty
yeah.
family that never left royalty.
Right, and so they're I think the book that really stuck out for me, like with scenes and stuff, was Vampire Prince, was the sixth book. It's literally smack dab in the middle of the series, and it's the third series because you've got the vampire rights, then you got the vampire trials, and you got the vampire war and all that other stuff, and Vampire Destiny trilogy. You have like 4 different trilogies. The one that stuck out to me the most is book 6, and that's the end of the first and second arc, and it's where Darren learns
No,
the
no,
difference
that doesn't
a
work. If Cam
honorable
talks and she
murderer,
sees
someone
and
who's
she
killing
throws a hand
someone
there,
else
she
out
ain't
of
gonna do
honor,
goddamn
and
shit
like
unless you
there's
got
like
your
honor
face up
behind
there.
it, and there's like
Yeah.
She'll
honor
kick
behind
you
the
in
kill.
face.
And then the cold-blooded concept that we all know and love.
Yeah,
to,
I
you know,
felt
keep
that.
in love.
That was
Yeah, and so it
D5.
was like the difference
Go
between the
downstairs,
two,
don't yell.
and it was extremely impactful for me as a younger kid because it's like, or as like a young adult, because
Oh,
like
man, I remember
it
that.
introduced concepts that I'd never even known before, and so like so that's one of my favorites, and then the other one was of course I liked Percy Jackson, the first series. The second one was cool, but the first one was the
I've
most
heard some
most
good and
impactful.
bad things about it. Like, no.
It's
The
derivative.
first part
It's
is
Greek
about
mythology.
this, then the second one's about
That's the
this.
second.
Then they get into the other mythologies. Once you go so far down the book line, it's like
It's Greek mythology, so it's
That's
kind of
too
derivative,
freaking
but it's
complicated, man.
kinda
Just
like-
keep it with one.
it's
Well,
kind of
no.
like the
Somebody
the
who
Harry
read it
Potter thing. with the
almost all the way
children,
through.
Trinity. Yeah.
Said they get into Odin and a few of the others. Like, I don't even think
They didn't go
went-
into Odin until like probably the.
I think it's like
the Apollo
12th
series.
book or something.
Well, they
But
have.
it's
they
far
have.
down the line, but I'm saying they,
they have-
eventually get to every one of them.
Well,
It's
they
like
have the Percy Jackson regular Greek mythology, and then they have the Heroes of Olympus series that goes into Roman gods. And then he then branched off and did a completely different series of Egyptian. Then he bounced back over to the Apollo series, which was branching out together, and that's probably the one he's talking about.
well, she, but yeah,
Who?
somebody you don't know.
Okay.
Just somebody I know who's like, no, the Percy Jackson series, it does this, then it goes here, then it goes.
Yeah, and it goes into different
Oh,
places
good.
all the time. But those are some of my favorites. So, as far as the story goes, you said you were working on one of them. What defines a good story for you?
Yeah, but like, it's only
Depends on my
over
mood.
here, and then when I'm over here.
Well, no,
So
because
it's like a
sometimes
mood
I
ring.
do dragon type stories.
The mood story, the story mood, the ring, the mood ring. It's kind of like
Yeah,
what it is.
I'm random as hell because I got. Actually, you hold on to it. I gotta use the facilities.
Thank you for watching us, one viewer. We appreciate you.
Wonder if it's the one guy from last session.
Probably is the one guy from last session. He's taking a pee break, so he'll be back soon.
Get the baby's kick.
That is one pain I don't want to feel.
Stories
Well, I'm
for
sorry
me.
right here.
Don't call F. Don't
Hold on a second, I'm texting someone real quick. Okay,
Oh, what do I-
don't worry, supervisor.
It can't pick up anything.
Stories for me. Stories help define a generation. They also help define society, and you know the point behind a myth, like a myth, like Greek myth, Roman myth, is to have parables or to have lessons to teach an entire population. And so, with that being said, the reason why I wanted stories to be a focus for this episode, or at least a partial focus, we'll focus more on it in the next episode because this one's obviously going to be the New Year's episode where, you know, we're half drunk and partying a little bit 'cause it's a crazy beast. But story focus is really important because in our current society, in our current world, stories are kind of needed right now. Whether it's TV shows, whether it's movies, whether it's comic books. And if you don't have them, then you aren't learning anything. And as a society, we're focused, especially when you're on Facebook or social media, the most famous and most infamous form of news or almost form is, thing that touches your soul, the thing that gets people talking, of course, are memes. And while those are cool, they're not stories. Like, they are stories in the sense of, like, they're quick, quick simple thing. They can tell a story. They're not the same as, like, one that spans the entire narrative. So that's why I wanted to focus on more stories instead of like I write fantasy, playing around with like vampires, werewolves, demons, angels, that sort of stuff. Of course, Tim obviously focuses on stories a little bit. He's actually writing one that's about a cyborg. He's talking about writing one. He's been working on it, and so I figured I'd ask him about it because it was a way of being able to carry it forward with everything and keep the focus going. So I figured I would talk to the camera a little bit while you were gone.
No, you're good. That's why I said I'm gonna go pee. Carry.
Yep.
I don't care, dude.
Held the torch a little bit. So back to what we were talking about before. We were talking about how I liked a couple different stories and stuff. The one that I think that we both like a lot, which is Supernatural. That one's an interesting one.
I like that
And I think
series.
part of it is because they introduced the concept of Chuck, and Chuck is,
A douche.
he's God in the show, and
Well, the character's a douche.
we all know that. I mean, it's kind of like a subtext commentary on what everyone thinks God actually is, but beside the point.
See, and that's always the funny part. God's an asshole. Says
Yeah.
who?
Right. And so
Says
it's-
religion. No, religion says Jesus started the crap. So God told Jesus, okay, here's the blueprint. Take care of it. That's your Old Testament. New Testament is God saying, okay, you're on earth. I'm gonna. You're gonna follow the rules whether you like it or not.
Yeah.
And everybody's like, what the hell just happened? He. Daddy took over. It's no longer son.
Yeah. So it's like the funny relative thing that I saw behind your talking about that one book series and then Supernatural, one common theme, family.
Oh yeah.
And I noticed that was a thing that stuck out when you said that. You were like talking about how at the end of the day it's a family story. Like, even though it's like got dragons, even though it's got like all this other stuff going on, even though it's got some demon lord dude, some lord dude who's
Some
you know,
douchebag is
who's
ruling king,
doing
essentially.
shit to women and everything like that, it's still a story about family. And it's funny because the story I wrote that you've been reading your kid is kind of like that. It's got like kings and stuff like that. It's got witches. It's got demons. I don't know where you guys are at in it, but it's got one
I
of
haven't
those
got to read it in a
stories.
couple of days. Been busy doing other stuff. So.
Yeah, life happens. But like that's when you were describing what the king was doing to the girl, and when you were describing some of the other stuff going on, I was like, Braxton. So like it sounded really
But see,
familiar.
that's why I like Supernatural and certain other stories, because it's like it's not the story's about the character, but it's not always about the character. It's about why they do what they do. Why? Because they're like, I hate to bring up the goofy TV show I used to watch as a teen. Well, early into teens, but Buffy and Angel, that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
It's we built our family. This is who our people are. We're staying together. You can't break us up. Fuck off.
Yeah, it's kind of
If you ever became a douchebag in the family, it's like, really? You know how we run this stuff. Why are you doing that? Do you really want to be kicked out of the family and have to survive on your own? Or are you gonna fix yourself and try not to be an asshole? Like, what was it? Willow did it there for freaking a whole season behind everybody's back. The evil little freaking witch bitch.
yeah, she did.
I'm a lesbian, but I should kill you all. It's like, really? You were the one person that was the geek. And it's like, there's nothing wrong with being the geek. You just gotta own up who you are and run with it. That's like me. What are you? I'm disabled and I'm completely not in the right mind 90% of the time. But I'm okay with that because, no offense, neither is most of the people I talk to, like you, my sister, anybody I've actually made friends with. Even if it's just halfway friends when I see him at work or see him at a specific place. The funny part is, I just talk about random crap, and usually I can draw anybody into the conversation.
Since I got pregnant, my mom's left.
That's why when we were talking about, we just choose to shoot random conversations about stuff. I'm like, okay, let's do it into a podcast. Like Barnacles, the guy I watched that, I like what he does because he's random as heck.
Yeah.
He says what he wants to, and if he's got something eating at his girt, he talks about it.
That's also why I figured that I would bring it up
Hey,
and
Ted.
pitch it to you, and then you seem to generally jump onto it. Was the idea
90%
that,
of the time, yeah.
which is the fact that like one of my favorite podcasters, obviously Kevin Smith, he does the same thing where he'll just talk to his friends for like 2 hours and gives them an excuse to have a conversation with them.
Right,
then
and
just
if you
records it.
put a subject in your title, we'll get to that eventually in the 2, 3, maybe 4 hours that we're podcasting. If we don't, we don't. If we do, hey, look, I remember, this is what we're going to talk about on our podcast. Let's throw this in right here.
Yeah, he looked at
Don't even really segue into it, just talking about random stuff. Like, oh yeah, well that also has to do with the subject that we're supposed to be talking about,
And
so
then he tried to
we
say
ran
something.
it in.
Yeah, I said
Yeah.
10.
We had a few guest stars tonight. We had Jose,
Nephi.
Nephi. You heard my wife from the
You're like a
background.
dude who went fishing.
Jose
and
had to
fish
do the
slowly gets
whole
bigger
thing.
every time you
And
go.
Nephi had to come by and tell I won't go into what the kids are doing at the camp because it's extremely inappropriate and it's stuff that teenagers tend to do when they're
And then he started to
partying
stutter
from
and
you know
shut
being
up after
pulled
that.
up at Job Corps for however long
He
they're
tried
pulled
to
up
say
for it.
shit
So
again, was
of course the
stuttering.
girl
The only
is
thing
like,
I've heard about that Job Corps
Yeah.
that's been good
So I
is
said 10.
their cooking program's awesome. I'm like, well, that's good for them. Did you go to there for yours? I'm like, no, dude, I went to Job Corps in Oklahoma. Talking Leaves.
Yeah.
It's like, where is that?
That's not
In
how
the
it.
middle of effing
No.
nowhere, quite literally.
That's
No, it is.
with my
It's-
hormones, I'm gonna
okay.
take one of his
You're driving
guns
down,
and shoot him
I
in
can't
the
remember
foot.
the name of the highway, but it's up towards Tulsa. And you're going to Tahlequah, but you're heading towards Tulsa. You take a side exit, which isn't a normal exit that anybody would go to unless you have family in that area.
Yeah.
Because the Cherokee reservation is there, but on the side of it, going down that little side, basically back road that goes to nowhere, you go to the Job Corps. And it's like, okay, cool. I know how to get there. I can get there.
Yeah.
I got my head chef certification. I got my GED. Let me say this for clarification. GED in the year of 2000 when it was the hardest to take, right after it came out, and I only had to take it, redo my English part because I read slow and I'm not really good with English, with essays and stuff. But I only had to take that twice because the second time I took it, I got just enough points to pass everything because the math and the history, all that stuff that's in the GED. Are you smart enough to not have to take your high school diploma? Yes, because I took the hardest GED test ever that was more than the equivalent to a high school diploma. It was actually 2 steps higher
Yeah.
because it was hard as hell and it was you actually proving you deserve a degree.
Yeah, and let's be real here. Like most of the presidents that have been in office, they usually have someone read stuff to them, and they usually have someone translate things for them, and then they advise them, and that's half the time what the vice president's job is to do. So it's
Well, that's
nothing
half
neither
of
here
the
nor
people
there.
that isn't the president. Alright, I don't understand this. It's in legal needs. Hey, you, my lawyer, translate this crap into English. Or at least American. Because technically we don't speak English.
Yeah,
We
you
went
know,
over
they-
that last podcast.
Really, they like Trump or someone else in the office is like sitting with their little bill and they're like, so in addendum CA3, blah 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 blah. No, they've got someone read it to him and talk to him about it.
Yeah, but Trump is a dumbass. I'm just gonna do this. Sign. Send it in. It's not going anywhere because you're a douchebag and everybody knows it. Shut up. Quit trying to pretend to be king.
Yeah.
If you're gonna be king, no offense, get into office and do it.
No,
Yeah.
it's not.
I'm sorry, I don't want to be king, but I want to be the guy who freaking rallies the world into becoming basically one nation. So that way we're not complete. What? Did that camera move?
No, who's calling me?
No, they're talking about us. They've said
Oh.
my name like 5 times.
Okay.
We're on a mission.
We're
You're
talking
right.
about Everclear.
Well, if you're on a mission to go to hell, just jump off the top floor.
No,
That's
Thomas,
why I stood up, is because I heard my name. What?
Where's my 195 proof?
Oh, it's probably in the cabinet.
Which cabinet?
I thought it was
Very
right
top.
above the refrigerator or the
Very
cabinet
top
right next
cabinet, right behind the fridge.
Where the kids
to it. See, I knew right where that was.
Yeah, you watched me hide it one time.
left.
Heck, I had you pull it
I
out
wasn't
so I
gonna,
could
like-
get a shot.
Well, I wasn't gonna have the kids like get into it and stuff because they
Yeah,
did
I mean,
everything.
but see, my biggest reason too for wanting to become government, because it's like, okay, let's legalize weed. For one, because I know it's a good painkiller, and for two, that stuff helps me go to sleep.
Oh shit.
Yeah, I understand that.
Because the biggest thing for me is, you have to have cancer to get it
Shot of this
medically.
and you drunk
That's
as shit.
bull crap.
Yeah.
Because I have to be dying
25.
to prove that I actually need it for a painkiller. I'm sorry, that's kind of BS.
Right.
Especially because, like, in Oklahoma, where I used to live, that's how I got my weed, is from the people who had cancer, but they're like, no, they give me twice as much as I actually smoke because of the cancer. I can't smoke that much. Here, have some. Thanks for mowing my lawn. Thanks for doing, basically, maintenance works on my apartment complexes I own because I'm rich and old and have cancer.
Yep.
And the lady we got it from, her husband died like a year later. She died like 2 years later. And, well, she died after I left, so it would have been 2 years later. But it's a thing of, why are you giving the good stuff to people who are gonna die? I mean, I understand the whole painkiller thing, but what about those who are living like me? I shouldn't be able to be standing and walking around and being able to get up here to do this sort of stuff. I should be stuck in a wheelchair and y'all we'd had to figure out a way to get my ass all the way up the stairs.
Yeah.
But for pure willpower, because of the reason I'm moving. If I actually had medical marijuana or something that was the equivalent of, for the CBD, the THC, well, not really the THC, more the CBD painkiller end, I would use that on a daily basis because no pain, which means I can work out better, which is good for health. But it also means I don't have to worry about being in pain all the time.
Yep.
And I know a lot of people are like, everything sucks. I'm in pain, like, I think it's fibromyalgia, or one of the other ones, the, begins with the name, I can't remember its name,
Is that 21 yet?
but it basically puts you in constant pain, or messes with your muscles because you're in so much pain you can't use them anymore. So why don't we just make that stuff illegal? Huh?
I'm trying to remember the name of it.
It's something like that, yeah, you're in the right field, I can't remember the
Because
exact
my
name.
mom had it, I think.
What, is my
Yeah,
charger not charging
she
your
did.
phone fast
And
enough?
like her spine was constantly grinding against itself. It was nasty.
Well, I know a lot of people who have spine
Oh,
issues, and I'm like,
there's two back there.
with my disability, you'd think I'd have it.
There was a
Not an
time where
issue.
she was sitting
It's
at
in my
her chair, like in the kitchen, and she was just sitting there. She wasn't doing anything physical at all, just sitting there. Like technically
It
it
doesn't
was a
work.
physical thing, but she was just sitting there, and she's leaning forward like this. She's like, and her face is like shaking. She's like, and like the whole time she's trying not to go into a seizure, and I understand her watch her go through that shit, and it was hard, especially when she would look at the ceiling and go,
Went up your ass.
"Oh, take me now," blah blah blah, and like I was just like, "Well, no, Mom, you're gonna last for a lot longer,"
Probably.
and
Several days.
that was wrong.
No,
Oh,
several
no.
months, yeah.
But yeah, she dealt with that every day.
Well, that's like me. The pain, it's like, nah, pain's life. Deal with it.
Yeah.
I wake up every morning in pain. Good, you know your life.
Mm-hmm.
That's how I see it. Because if I don't have pain, one, I'm dead. Or two, somebody slipped something into a drink I drank the day before and I can't feel anything. Which isn't always a good thing.
Like
Well, no, I
something
drink
like
so
that,
much
just like-
water, it's kind of like bullshit.
Or like nursing a bottle and shit.
Oh, you know what, Russ?
Well, you see, my thing is,
You know what Russ
I've never
was
really
gonna
been
do
big
this
on
time?
liquor. I mean, I
Yeah.
could outdrink
Things that
anybody
he
if I
says.
got back into drinking.
Because you know
Like
what
you
you do
used
when he
to?
says something stupid.
I could drink freaking
And
a
then
whole
he tries
bottle
to
of
yell at you
Everclear and
for doing something
not feel it.
that goes along
But that's
with
also
that
when I was a
stupid.
lot younger, my metabolism was a lot
Then the
faster.
guys say,
Yeah.
say the exact same damn thing.
Itchy.
And he
But I mean, back then when I
It
drank
is
that
the
much,
best thing ever.
when it,
He's learned
I'm
since
not
then.
supposed to because I
This
wasn't
nigga doesn't
21,
say
but it's
shit that I
like,
can use
screw
on.
you.
Yeah.
But at the
Fuck
same
yeah,
time, I was
man.
smoking so much weed, I should have been dead. No, I'm serious. I should have freaking died from alcohol poisoning and with the excess in weed. It's not, okay, weed's not gonna kill you, but it's like smoking too many cigarettes. Eventually, if you smoke too much at once, you're putting yourself in freaking basically cardiac arrest because you can't breathe because your lungs are so full of just, ugh.
Yeah, they're not full of oxygen at that point. They're just full of everything else that isn't oxygen.
Yeah. And the funny part is, I remember seeing all these truth things back in the early 2000s. which is funny. I could say early 2000s because I was born in the 80s.
Ball,
I'm
and
old.
then wait
Whatever.
2 hours. I'm
But
like,
but the thing is, it's the whole thing of yeah, smoking weed is worse than smoking cigarettes because it does this, this, and this, and this to your lungs, just like cigarettes, but twice as much. I'm like,
no,
that doesn't make sense because the only reason cigarettes kill you is cancer. That kills you because of the tar, not because of nicotine. Nicotine is just the thing that gets you caught on cigarettes.
Yeah.
The tar and all the other chemicals is what kills you. But weed, it's pure unless you're adding crap to it. But then it's just it'll get you higher faster. Like, I don't want to be higher. I just want a painkiller. Because
you know what he tried to lie about last week?
I tried to get painkillers. This was when me and Teresa first
I call bullshit since he's
moved
working
into
on Walmart and
the
he's going on dates.
apartment.
Who's this?
Forget
Joshua
forever ago.
Steele, you see him beat his
God,
ass.
Connor's
He's a fucking dumbass.
10. So that'd have been 9 years. No, 8 years ago.
Yeah.
And I had to go to try. I wanted to talk to my doctor because okay, the medication you're giving me is not working. I've already been on it for like I think it was like 3-4 months, and my body's gotten so used to it because I have such a high drug tolerance that no effect. Period. It just nah, you're not gonna feel it no more. Okay, so I'll just stop texting you. Tried to talk to the doctor, couldn't get my doctor, so I got the doctor in the attached office.
Yeah.
And I basically got the, well, I don't deal with narcotics, da 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 da. I'm like, no, dude, I want to figure out a different way to deal with it other than narcotics. Like, is there something that I can get that's not what you consider you're just coming in for drugs? It's like, I'm not coming in for drugs. I'm coming in to figure out a different situation, like physical therapy, something else that my insurance might cover. And the guy was a complete douchebag, so I just stopped going to the doctor.
Yeah. What's funny is
Which is why I don't go to the doctors anymore, because one, now that I don't have the insurance, I can't afford it.
when I
But
broke
anywho.
this arm, and then when I broke this one, I broke this one like clean halfway through. But like this one, I just broke the birth plates. And each
Okay.
time, the doctor prescribed me products and stuff because I was a teenager and everything. But also at the same time, he wanted to make sure that I wasn't like writhing in agony, and especially the second arm. And you know, the narcotics about all they did was just provide as a painkiller. That's all they really did, which is probably why he did it. But I've never been in the position where you were at, where you go to the doctor and they're just like, you're just trying to
He
get
says
drugs.
everyone
So it's just like,
If I want to get drugs, you go to the free clinic, you do it that way. I'm sorry, with as crappy as the system is and with this, I look like I'm homeless. No, I don't, I just got a beard.
Yeah.
Actually, I got a whole freaking neck hair. I don't have just a beard, I have a whole thing.
No.
That's why I always think it's funny on TikTok. Yeah, a woman sitting on a
I'm
man's
gonna
face.
show you some.
Sitting on a bearded man's face for 20 minutes a day makes her happy and she'll live longer because she's not angry. I'm like, I agree, sit on my face.
Right? You're just like, sit right here, just.
Yes. Well,
So
some
wait,
friend girls
your
are like,
aunt told your
oh,
friend what
I'll
happened,
suffocate
huh?
you. I would die happy, just shut up and get on your damn seat.
Yep.
But that was also me in like middle school and high school. No, that's disgusting. Oh my god, it's the best. Or the chick says, my boyfriend just wants a blowjob. Well, that's because he's a bitch and won't go down on you.
Don't worry about me.
Yep.
And I'll probably get whatever BS for it, but I don't care about talking about that because I'm sorry, I like talking the truth.
Fine, just
If you're not gonna go down on your woman, don't ask for a BJ. Me, I can give a crap if I get one. If I get one, yay. If I don't, yeah, whatever. I'm still gonna freaking put my fist between your legs, make you so happy when I put my hoo-ha in. You're gonna be like, holy shit, that's like 10 times better because you restarted the engine. Oh yeah, you gotta restart the engine because you go into a cold engine. You ain't gonna get nothing but ramming a fucking basically a brick wall with no lube. No, that shit was
Why?
all.
I know where the gun is in the car. He didn't even remember
What's
there
funny
was
is
a gun in the car.
I always heard stories of how that shit works. It wasn't until later on that
Yeah.
I was
In
actually
life.
doing things like that. But
You know
yeah,
what
I
that
have
sounds
very
like,
limited
Nikolai?
sex life compared to you.
Oh, I said the funny part is, I got my first BJ in first grade. Didn't even know what the hell
Yeah,
it
you're
was.
thinking about
Then
my
when I
ex,
got to
right?
like 5th, 6th grade,
Yeah.
I'm like,
Fucking bitch
I don't care
ditching
about
work
that.
running from the
I mean, it was
freaking,
okay in
petrol
first
station all
grade.
the way to my parents'
Of course,
house to
I-
freaking cry.
that kind of
And they
started
were
my,
and they're like,
you're
oh,
going
fucking
to
leave me.
you know, that sort of
I'll
stuff.
die.
Really? At that young? Dude, I started really at everything.
Okay. He skipped work.
I ended up
ran
freaking
from the
jumping from
station to our house.
5'3",
crying like a little
no,
bitch.
5'6" to where I am now in like 2 years.
Yeah.
and I jumped from
No,
5
it's
to
just
5
right.
6 from the age of like 7 to 8.
Yeah.
So I'm sorry, I jump in height because of my genetics at the time. It was like, okay, I'm gonna hit it and go.
That. Yeah. Bottom.
It just is what it is.
Over.
And I know that about myself. That's like my brother. Nephi's goofy butt.
What about my goofy ass?
You're tall as fuck.
Thank you.
Shut up, Stooge. No. No, because of our genetics, if we lift weights all the time, like his job is basically lifting weights because he builds trailers. The ones like you see for Walmart Taking and all these companies, that's
Yeah.
where he works, at a factory that builds those. But because he does that all day, he's built like he's built like the Mack truck he's building the trailer for.
Built like a brick house.
Yeah.
No, Brick House is lightweight, ho. No, not Jiggly. Ho.
Yeah. Now you're tickling jiggles.
See, you got him distracted. Now I can take over the show.
What was the thing that Markiplier said?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't memorize these whole stuff. I mean, I like Markiplier. He's a funny
No,
effort.
I
That's why I'm having
I had it.
I'm gonna
in
take
my
over
head.
your whole army, Markiplier and Jacksepticeye. Sorry, I'm coming for your people because they're gonna become my
I had
people, and
it.
I'm gonna take over the world, and we're all gonna
Ever.
rule everything, and the governments are gonna no longer be shit and trying to screw everybody by doing this stuff
What?
by rich. Where's
So
Dave Cameron
Cam
for that
says
one?
her
Rich,
tailbone hurt. Would
medium,
laying down not
poor.
help
No, it's
with
gonna be
your
everybody
tailbone
has $1
hurt?
million.
It might
You have 1 year to
depend.
either
She
screw
might have to
yourself
prop
or
a
let's
pillow
see how
under
this
her
crap
stuff.
goes because we have
That's
enough
why
money
we
in the
got
world
two
for
pillows
everybody to have $1
on
million.
her, one for her head and then the
His
other
favorite
one
thread.
on
His
her.
favorite story.
Do
To
the
stick
strike
into it.
one for her head and the
Yes.
other one for her tailbone.
What I mean,
Hear about it all the time.
but that's the funny part. It's like everybody could have $1 million. Yeah, if we didn't have a system that screwed the people who were poor, and the only reason you're poor is because you grow up in that. That's like I've always grown up in a middle,
Lower
like
middle
literally straight middle, or low middle class, or high low class.
Yeah.
I'm like, no. Let's make everybody rich. First, I'll get rich, and then I'll pass it along. Why? Because somebody who's always been poor, getting rich, I'm not gonna be like some of these other people who've, I've won the lotto, burned the money in frickin' a year. What the hell are you stupid? I mean, there's programs out there, CDs, all these other things that basically are tax write-offable, half of them. So you can run with the money like a, what is it, an IRA,
Yeah.
which basically is, hey bank, here's some money. You get to buy the freaking stocks for me, and then I make money off it, you make money off it, but I only get like, I think it's like 5%. Well, it used to be 5%, I think it's like 2% to 1% now.
Something like that.
It sucks now. But I mean, if I'd had enough money back in the day, other than the BS $300 I got in a CD, because some dum hit me, hit Nanny's van while I was in it,
Yep.
I'd end up freaking leaving half of it in the CD, just taking out my portion and just let the shit roll. But at the time, I was young, I was stupid. I'm like, oh, I can buy a car. Didn't work out. I ended up spending money on other stuff, which probably ended up putting me further back than I wanted to be. But I mean, it is what it is. The system sucks because the people in charge who are rich don't want to help anybody else get there because no, because now we're not the 1%ers or the 3%ers. Now we're all the same. Good.
Yeah, they wanted to like keep everyone
In
where
their
they
damn
are,
place. Rich
and-
people want to keep poor people poor. Poor people want to kick rich people's ass and steal their money. No, let's make everybody the same amount of money. Everybody has $500,000 sitting in the bank account. Guess what we're doing with the rest of the money? We're fixing all the damn roads. We're figuring out a way to make the roads so that we don't have to fix them every goddamn year. So that way we're not spending half the damn spring and summer running through construction and screwing up our gas mileage on our cars.
Yeah.
And also make cars that are cheap enough that everybody can freaking have one for free. You're 16. Pass the test. If you pass the test in this car that we just built and made brand new because you're testing it, it's your car. Okay, I'm done. Because the way the system runs with the money, it's all BS. If we ran it all where it was all, okay, you get this so you can live. You're not getting any more. We're giving you the seeds, the house, something to drive, or a cart, if you want to go all Amish style sort of thing. You get what you need.
Yep.
You don't get any more, you don't get any less, and we're not going to charge you for electricity that you need to run your house, or gas,
Am I wrong?
because with electricity, with half the heaters, that's how you heat up your house. And the air conditioning units, well, I'm sorry, everybody should have one of those that should be free. Right along with the heaters, the electric, the water. And I'm sorry, we need to fix our sewage system so that way it runs a little bit better. But the funny part is we still get freaking charged for sewage. And we get charged for other people to pick up our trash. Like Waste Management, and there's a couple other companies out there, I can't remember their name off the top of my head, who we have to pay through the city to pick up our trash and go dump it in a big pile and then throw dirt and grass on top of it and say, look, we didn't do this. And in 150 years, it'll be actually turned.
Yeah.
No, it's more like 3,000 years, dum-dum. Look at what the hell you're putting into it. And it should no longer be the whole recycling bins, you have to pay for it. That's what I hate about this state and a few other states I've lived in, is the recycling trash can, you have to pay for it. Excuse me, when I recycled back in the freaking 90s, in the early 2000s, I made money, I didn't have to pay somebody. That's BS. That should be free. Everything should be free. You get your monthly stuff, and if you want extra stuff like a gym membership or that, you have to pay for it out of your own pocket. Because everybody still gets paid their wages. But the thing is, housing's free. You get one car,
Certain smell that comes out of your
and
mouth.
you get
It can be a turn off.
utilities for free because that's part of living. Then all the homeless people, oh, I didn't like, because I know half the homeless people are rich a-holes are like, I'm tired of this, the system doesn't work, it's complete BS. That's why they have the mental issues, because the system doesn't work, it broke them. They said, screw this, I'm not playing in the system, and they're down the streets, even though they're like multi-millionaires. It's like, dude, if you're a multi-millionaire, no offense to your kids, go screw off, give it to the poor people. Help them out, teach them how to do it, and keep the money.
And right.
It's what we need. The homeless people who are rich, or who used to be rich and know how to run the system and do this stuff properly, even though I want to fix it so nobody can run it and it's all equal,
You know what?
but show people how to do it properly. And we also need to quit making our military freaking homeless, because that's BS, because they spend their whole lives fighting or protecting us. No matter what country you're in, that's their job.
But how would you go about doing this? Like, what is the process? How do we get from where we are now?
That's why I want to get an office, because I know how to talk about it,
How do we
but I
get
don't know the full system on how to go about it. I know I have to try to, okay, can we do this? No. Okay, well, you have to sneak in what you want into what everybody else wants. Okay, so since none of y'all like tobacco, and you're all apprehensive about putting weed legal, excuse me, we'll tax it out the ass. Just the weed, not the cigarettes. No offense, we need to lower the taxes on cigarettes, because that's BS high. You don't want to kill yourself with cigarettes? Okay, that's your choice. Here's your poison.
Yeah.
That's just what it is. It is what it is. We need to also fix the tax system, because we weren't supposed to be taxed. We're still not supposed to be taxed, because that stuff was supposed to end after World War II, and it never did.
Yeah.
Everybody just kept it going. We need to turn all the taxes down to like 1%, maybe 2%, to keep the system going. Because it completely screws everything up. I want to get in to try to fix the tax system first, and then if it's like, we don't have enough money, yeah we do. If everybody's on the same rowboat, we all have the same money, we all have this size house we need, not these freaking mansions that take up 2 blocks. No. If it takes up 2 blocks, that's at least 20 people that could live in that place.
Yeah. So what you're saying, you're suggesting is to completely change how not only the economy works, but also how society works with the way everything is. Because you have like the freedom to choose to live in a mansion, or you have the freedom to choose to live in an apartment like we do, or like I do.
Yeah, whatever you need.
And so,
Because no offense, you
right.
and my sister, this sucks for y'all, because it's too small.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Because how many kids you have? You guys actually would get a house on the system I want to build.
Right.
But that's like people tell me, no, you should go for mayor first, or like state, something else other than governor. I'm like, no, because if you start low, you get stuck low.
Did it burn when it bit?
Yes, I was mayor for 5 years. Now where are you? City council. For 50. No. You go for governor, you get governor, and then maybe you can move to either federal senate, or you just, no, I'm going for president.
It's just burning now.
People try to do it the small way, but then they end up doing it so small, they get screwed by getting stuck in one place. Hey, there's no cap limit on this job. We're going to keep you here because you're doing such a good job, and then you're stuck at that job. The pay's good, But once you've done 2 to 3
Anything bad?
terms, you've basically done as much as you can.
That much, or else it's
Yeah.
gonna spread.
You're basically just sitting there going, what are we doing? Oh, we'll just fix the roads. Oh, we'll just do this. Oh, we'll just do that. And it's like, no, we need to actually fix it. Not just go, nah, it worked. Oh, we need more money. Okay, tax them more. Make them pay more taxes. Why? Because, in my opinion, because I lived in Ohio before they started taxing food.
Yeah.
When the dollar menu at McDonald's was a freaking $1.
Yeah, now it's like $3, $2 or whatnot. They always they
Well,
have
no,
like
when
they
they
have like
changed
some
it
of the
in
stuff
Ohio-
$1, but it's like micro. It's like a macro
It
meal.
went from like $1 to $1.06 because you gotta pay like 6.5 cents per tax.
They also got in trouble because of the whole Super Size Me documentary, so they had to completely change how their entire menu was.
Yes, because if you want to be fat, be fat. But if you want to say you're healthy and you weigh 300 pounds, I actually saw a guy talking about this. Actually, one of the guys I like on TikTok because he's not a BSer, he's straightforward. Look, you're beautiful the way you are,
By the way,
but
I'm
don't
not
be
worried.
300 to 400 pounds and say I'm healthy. Bullshit.
No more.
They
Your body
put
can't handle
barbecue
that,
sauce
and the
on
only
my
reason you
lemon
look
pepper.
badass in the legs is because
But it
carrying
wasn't
300 to
just
400
barbecue
pounds
sauce.
makes your legs
It also
work
had
out so
lemon pepper
much.
on it.
You don't need to go to the gym for legs. I agree. You need to go to the gym, work out the rest of your body, and burn off some of that excess fat. I got a little because I've been kind of slacking on the gym. I know I have.
Yeah.
But I mean, the kids are out of school, so I can't exactly do it. But next week when the kids are back to school, I'm going to be gone every day from basically when the kids go to school until
Oh God.
Not
noon.
your barbecue.
So you had a normal winter break.
Yeah. As soon as the see, that's what screws me. When they go on break, I get stuck at the house because the girls are always gone, or if I run off, it's like, where'd you go? I went to the gym. You left the kids here all by themselves. And you said if I needed to go do something, I can go do it. I went to the gym. We weren't awake. The kids came back. They burned my house down. Don't blame me because you can't smell smoking. Wake the hell up.
Yep.
So, but see, that's the stuff. Those are the scenarios that go through my head. It's like I get told I can do stuff, and then it's like, please don't leave. We need to go do stuff. Okay, what do you need to go do?
Are we Quagmire now?
Stuff. No, I need specifics. That's like me trying to work out the freaking money crap with Teresa. She's like, don't worry about it, I've got it. Yeah, and if we ever get divorced, the first thing you're gonna tell the court is he doesn't know how to pay the bills. Well, of course not, because you've been doing it for so long. Before I was freaking stable enough on my own self for the money stuff,
Yeah.
I'll trip over it.
it wasn't possible for me to learn it because you're just like, I know how to do it, and you took over.
Yeah.
There's like an entire
That'd be like, okay, I want to become governor. Why? So that way, one, I
You
can
will
learn
trip over
how
it.
the hell the system works better than what I already know it works, because it doesn't, not 100%. And two, if I learn how to run the system better in the system, maybe I can fix all the potholes where it doesn't run good and everybody's so angry at it, and have been angry at it since the freaking 80s that I've been listening to for the last 30 years.
So you're proposing we reduce taxes on the poor or the middle class, and then we increase taxes on the higher class.
I say we reduce taxes on anybody who makes anything under $500,000 a year. If you make more than $500,000 a year, no offense, I don't care how much you donate to charity, you're only getting a third of that back. You're not getting the full amount back because, I'm sorry, the charities need it. You don't need to get it back. You donated to help them, and if you didn't, just so that we can have more money, kiss my butt, we're gonna fix the system. Because half the people who run for governor or mayor or state senate and federal senate and all that stuff,
Hey, you.
half of them that are in office were in office when I got into middle school, or got into office when I was getting into or leaving high school. They've been in too long. They need to be out. We need the younger generation, my age, almost 40, and your age,
There we go.
hitting 30, because 30 is like the minimum in 90% of the states to become governor or lieutenant governor.
Yeah.
Because I'm almost 40, I'm like, I've been waiting for somebody I can run with. You're almost 30. It makes it perfect for me, so I'm like, alright, we're doing it. I set it out.
Okay.
Oh, we also need to this week work on unless you guys have a suggestion, either way, because if this, when I download this YouTube, put it in the comments. How to start not a GoFundMe, a Kickstarter to become governor and lieutenant governor. for a
Yeah.
fundraiser because me being on disability, I don't make enough money to be able to do that. If I did, I'd already put my name in freaking 10 years ago. Piss off everybody. No, I'm serious, because when I first moved out here, it was... Let's see, it's 2020, so that'd have been... I moved out here in 06. So that's 14 years?
Yeah.
Right? Which puts me at 24?
Yeah.
So I'd only had to wait 6 years, and then I'd run for office if I'd had enough money in my back pocket to just, okay, I'm just gonna do it.
You're a power-hungry rebel.
Yeah.
Shut up, no I'm not.
You're not a Virgo.
That's why I said I'm not a rebel. Anywho, what were you? Sorry, I completely
I'm a
took that
Virgo.
over. I knew that.
I'm a Virgo. No, yeah, I know it's spent the last 20, 30 minutes getting you to talk about certain other parts of that topic because you really wanted to run with it. I was just like, well, just let him talk a little bit and just nod my head and say yes. And just say I understand.
Well, if you don't understand, tell me now, and then we'll pick.
That's why I figured I would ask questions about how you would do it. Like, because, you know, there's one thing to tell the audience this is what I'm going to do. A lot of
well,
what they
not
don't
what I'm
get.
going to do, it's what I want to do. Because I only know certain parts of the system, and I know I've looked up some stuff on the internet, but even the internet, even the freaking actual stuff you can look up through the government offices, it only tells you so much. You don't learn half of it till you're in office. And they don't teach us half the stuff we need to learn in school, so that way if you want to run for governor or president or any of that stuff, how to do it.
Well, that's my job as lieutenant governor, I guess, is to learn everything before you get into office and do a bunch of prep work. But,
You'll be the background guy
but,
while I'm the pretty face.
But yeah, essentially. And so,
I'm okay with that, no offense.
And so, like, a lot of times I'll sit there and I'll notice that, you know, other people have the same concerns, they just don't take the time to voice it because they feel depowered and they feel voiceless. But a lot of times, a lot of these people that are running for office, these people who are in office and stay incumbent for 2 to 3 decades, they
Or
do
longer.
exactly the approach you did, but they don't take the time to really explain how they're going to do it and what process they're going to
drugs.
use.
Why are you fighting against drugs? What did drugs do to you?
They don't explain the process, and so people just hear a bunch of, I'm going to do this is what's going to happen, blah, 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 and then they go, how does that work? And so,
Well, that's why I said
yeah.
I'm not going to do. I'm going
Science
to
of it.
try.
Yeah, the science of it.
Yeah,
Is
because
basically-
you gotta figure it out once you get in office. 'Cause you have to be, I'm gonna do it while I'm in office.
Okay,
Yeah, that's
but
like
you
Trump.
drink soda,
He didn't
you
do
not.
shit. Why? Because he doesn't know how the system works. Because he didn't get in office, figure out how the system
He sure
works,
as hell
and
tweets
then
about what
did
he
it.
does. He sure as hell tweets about what he does.
Yeah, he tweets about I did this, even though he only signed a piece of paper which don't mean shit because he didn't. The rest of the steps is the other guys have got to figure
Well,
it
look
out.
at it
I
this
agree
way
with
as
you.
well. Is this newest stimulus that they're talking about, the 5,500-page document. He didn't actually write any of it that I know of. Like, he didn't author a lot of it. Like, it was all them. In fact, he blasted them on Twitter and was like, remove the pork. And he was, like, talking about it as if, like, he had nothing to do
All
with
the
stimulus.
guys that he had that are on his list of people that do the stuff he wants done
And he's the president.
basically took the stimulus from 2000
But if they
to
put it
600.
over and
Well, no, it was like
alcohol on your
12.
breath,
Well, it was 1,200 is what the
It was-
original stimulus
No,
was.
No, originally it was 2000. Then it was dropped to 12, and that's when they started talking about it in the
Talking
opening.
about it being
And then they dropped it to 6, and then he tried to say, well, I'm not gonna do it unless it's 2000. Dude, that's what originally was, and all the guys that were
Bernie
backing
and
you,
Bernie Cameron
basically-
and quite a few other people that are political figures originally tried pushing for 2,000, settled for 1,200. After that stimulus happened, then shortly after that, Bernie and the rest of the
the
crew
GOP
decided
knocked
to
it down to
push for
6.
Yeah, and then they knocked it down to 6 recently because of the fact that they figured half. And it's kind of crazy how the numbers work because when they knocked it down to 6, a lot of the people that are single or the people who are struggling adults who are not married or they are married and they just don't have children, they're going to be stuck with the 600, while a lot of people that are married and have kids are going to have like $3,000 or whatnot. And then all of it's going to burn
But
quickly
that's
because they're
only
going to
if-
inflate everything.
But see, here's the thing. It's the, I filed for taxes. Yeah, but did you file as a couple? Because if you didn't file as a couple, you're not going to get the 600 for your significant other. You're just going to get the 600 and they're going to be SOL.
Yeah, I just don't
That's something I learned when I first got on disability. I still had to file with my wife when she had a job for taxes because the funny part about that was if I didn't file with her, I didn't get counted or anything. So because of the age I was, we didn't get the earned income credit.
Yeah.
But because my name was on there, because of my age and because of how long I'd worked before I got my disability, we got the earned income credit the last 2-3 years. No, the last 2 years she was working.
Yeah.
It's that fine little details you gotta pay attention to, or ask the accountant or H&R or wherever you're going to file your taxes about.
You know what my thoughts are during a crisis, by the way?
Well,
My
this
thoughts-
last crisis that
Yeah.
here's hoping
Like,
ends in the next
this
6 months.
crisis has really made me think about how you would run a city, a government, a state, you know, whatnot, country.
Uh-huh.
And it's really made me think about the fact that in a crisis, they were so focused on arguing about money, they weren't focused a whole lot on fixing the money problem. And the problem is that when you print more money, and you borrow, or however they dug the money out to give to people, the problem is that also devalues it, while also trying to create this funnel in which they take a bunch of money, they spread it out everywhere, they send money overseas to help pay off the debt, and it's like a down payment. And then what they do is they take, and everyone gets mad at them for it, but that's partially Donald Trump's fault for starting that craziness. But they try to, and by the way, I'm taking business school, so my business major is business administration, and I'm taking a minor in entrepreneurship. So I have an educational background in how money works, and one of the things I learned about accounting and learned about intro to business is that when you are trying to front money and trying to start a business, or when you're trying to account for it, you have to account for everything, including what's in the account receivables and what's in the other accounts. And when you're borrowing money, that means you don't own the money. That means you are literally borrowing. Someone's lending it to you. So if we borrowed money to spend money, literally part of the stimulus does have to go overseas because that has to pay someone back. And
Well, yeah.
what people
Plus,
don't
it also
realize-
pays the military that's at his
right.
country.
But the problem is that when the stimulus only has 35 million of it, or whatever that figure net was, lower than 100, and that's dedicated to the businesses, that's dedicated to PPE, that's dedicated to all that other stuff, then you've got the 300 million that is meant for, hold on,
Why did that freeze?
because it's stupid.
Well, you grab my charger since I plugged it in right before.
Hold on a second.
Decided
I have to fix the camera real quick.
Amber's taking care of little dude.
Yeah, we kind of heard that.
So
Hang on, our thing's froze. Alright, yeah, love you, bro.
Are you going?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's running out.
Alright.
Tim's phone didn't.
Sorry,
freeze.
Twitch.
So
We're having to fix the computer recording because it kind of froze up on us.
Wait, is Jose leaving too?
yeah.
Damn it.
What do you mean,
Okay.
damn it?
So stop.
I didn't want the podcast to completely, like, get in the way of everything.
Well, no, 1 second. I'll help you with the podcast. Stop that.
Well, I've already stopped the recording on the actual recording. I was
Okay.
gonna make a part 2.
We can start the recording, I would think.
No.
Or do you, how do we resume? Yeah, because that's
X. Okay, restart OBS.
Why?
Hold on.
Juju,
You
our
tell me
brother,
about it.
I think, is trying to break our shit. Oh, there's a way to.
And it's fixed.
Yeah, but we
You
wanted
just
to
need
do it
to-
without that. We're just gonna have to merge the recordings now.
Yep, I'm gonna have to edit it.
Well, you would have had to merge them anyway because you stopped the first one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So
I know.
Well, we
that's
had
why
to
I just
stop it
had-
because it froze. But
that's why I just had to restart OBS.
Yeah,
Make it easier.
well, I
on you
hope it
guys.
saved the first one.
it did.
Okay.
Yeah.
We just got to name it episode 2.1 and episode 2.2.
Yep. It's part 1 and part 2.
Yep.
I mean, unless Thomas just does what he says and merges them,
Are you?
Oh, no,
gonna,
he will.
Jose, are you gonna come back
then
sometime
you don't
soon?
need to.
Well, no.
Yeah.
That's how we'll mark it.
That'd be great.
I say that, but I'm the one that's being responsible.
All right, see ya. Peace.
Love you.
I'll let you go.
Come here,
What?
jackass. Get a hug. Jackass.
Amber, come up here.
Yes, you're my jackass.
Amber is in the bedroom with the kids.
Cass had
Because
night
Cass
terrors.
had his night terror and came running out to the living room like
Always.
usual.
Right.
You know how he always does.
Andrew, sometimes he's a POS.
Aren't we all at some
Brother can
point?
be a piece of work, that's for sure.
You gonna
Depends
Do
on
some
whether
shit.
Don't get my strangulator, crap! What am I talking about? My other one's still on Twitch and it ain't been deleted yet, so
Good night, everybody. I love you all.
love you too.
You went over
Happy
everything
New
with me
Year.
in law school. Your fucking shoes.
What were we talking about? Don't remember.
Okay, so Jose, I tripped on the
Okay.
So, part 2.
Yeah.
Well, I
The computer stopped recording. Sorry
Computer
for that,
stopped
guys.
recording, it froze. But basically the gist that I was talking about was that when you are borrowing money and when you're spending money, you have a couple different accounts that you can look at. You have accounts receivable and then you have the other accounts. And the problem is when you're lending money, you're having to repay it back. And so one of the things that they talked about was that that type of stuff is why they're arguing about lending in the first place. But that being said, they have like maybe 25 to 30% of that stimulus that's actually going to a stimulus rather than going
to the
toward
actual population.
that's rather than going to the actual people that is trying to help. And so that's one problem I have with the stimulus. And that's why I think that when if you're going to be in government or you're going to be lieutenant governor or whatnot or governor, it's one thing we have to find a way to change is how our specific state runs things when it comes to stimulus, and maybe even create our own state stimulus, like when there's crisis, rather than just waiting for the federal government to create everything. Try to fix the problem rather than wait for someone else to fix it. And
Yeah.
so, like, for instance, Herbert recently, he has been waiting for the federal government to do a lot of things, and he'll basically do whatever, like, he'll do things for Utah here and there, but he's more passive about it. And in fact, half the time he acted like he wasn't
Well,
there.
I think he didn't run this year also because he was just bored. He's like, I've done enough.
Yeah,
I've done
like,
what I can. Let
it was
somebody else
like
do
he
it.
was sort of just sitting in for the governor position rather than really acting as the governor.
Well,
Or,
that's
really
what, like I was
governing.
saying, you get to a certain point, it's like, dudes, I can't do anymore. Everybody knows my name. They're either just gonna sit here and tell me to F off.
Right, and so
So he's like, all right, let the next guy try.
yeah, so that's why I was like, well, if I'm going to be a lieutenant governor, there's one thing that I want to be focusing on is how you run a system and how you can fix it. And I've spent enough time, early 20s, talking to friends, talking to buddies about how we would do that thing. And so I want to see if that thing that we talked about doing will actually be effective, or if I'm literally going to make small micro changes that eventually lead to a big change, and then if people end up hating me anyway. So
Everybody hates government. That's why we need to fix it, make it not government.
yeah.
Well, that's like one of my jokes was, nah, we won't run for, no, we'll run for government, but we'll fix it, we'll make it old school. I'm king, you're like vice king or whatever the heck, we'll do some bullshit about it.
It's not a monarchy, that's the thing.
But see, there's the thing, we turn the state we're in into a freaking, its own country, then we take over all the states around us, then we take over the whole thing, and then we take care of everything above and below. And once we basically are in charge of all of it, it's like, okay, I'm almost dead. Let's take over the countries that aren't attached. But see, that creates the, we don't want to do that. Because that was like, hang on, ready for it. Adolf Hitler.
Yeah.
He was voted into office, and then he tried to become king, the freaking Fuhrer, and take over everything. It's like, no, you don't want to take over everything. But he was also a racist ass, so
Yeah.
that didn't exactly work like he wanted it to. I mean, he knew how to get into the system and get on board, but I don't want to change it from the outside. I actually want to get in the government so that way I can try to help or fix stuff. But the bad part is, you get in, you got to get in high enough to actually change stuff. And if you
Yeah.
don't, then it's kind of pointless and you're moving ass backwards while you're trying to fix everything that's broken.
Well, that's kind of how the last guy, not this last guy, but the last guy before him, the 2 terms he ran, and everything like that, and the changes he was trying to make, he stopped at every turn. And yes,
Well,
I'm
not all
Iraq,
of them, but most
but
of them, yeah.
he was stopped at every turn, and in federal office, office of the president, and he was stopped at every turn, and the main thing he focused on, of course, was healthcare. But like, he was trying to do what he could to fix things, and you're dealing with, like you said, a system that's been broken for like 50, 60 plus 70 years, and then you turn around and Donald says the exact same thing on camera to everybody, talking about how broken everything is, and so you've got like these
But yeah,
presidents
he's
who are
trying
in
to
office.
fix it, but See, there's the thing. He's like, I'm basically God. I'm
Yeah,
the
he
king.
says
It's
he
like, no,
single-handedly
dude.
fix everything.
Because
It's
you
like,
gotta
no, you're
freaking
not.
make it so everybody agrees, so we can all do this together.
Yeah,
But
to
he
the
didn't go
public.
about it the right way. No, I signed a piece of paper. You gotta freaking do what I say. No, dude.
And he kept saying, "Put it on my desk. Put it on my desk." And it's like, okay, put what on your desk? Put the bill. Put what's in the bill. What's going on with this legislation? You know, what are you fixing?
And when he changed it to try to do what the people wanted, it didn't go nowhere because he didn't fix it properly. So both sides would sign and it would be fixed. Or he just said, "Yeah, I did that," but nothing happened because he didn't do a damn thing except for
yeah, you
stamp.
have your
Okay, my
Congress.
name's on it.
You have your all-state Congress of over 300 members, and when you're telling 300 members to do a thing and they're not doing the thing, it's kind of like telling your
It's
trash
why
crew full of 30
Republican
people to
and
pick up the trash
Democrat
and
and
they leave everything
Independent and
everywhere.
all that's complete BS.
Yeah.
Because it's like, I'm gonna stay with my people. No, I'm gonna stay with my people. I don't give a crap about either one of you, but we're not gonna do anything y'all want to do because you're assholes. It's like, okay, can we like go back to democracy, where everybody puts in their own opinion, not by party opinion, by your
Yeah.
actual opinion of what stuff should be done to fix it. Because if you don't try to fix it, you're basically just saying, I'm gonna do whatever the hell I want and stop.
That reminds me of another thing I think we should focus on if we're going to be in office is
Which is?
have libertarians and have independent people who don't identify with a party affiliation in office with us.
I just
People
think
who
we
are
need
diverse,
to make a
people
new
who are different,
political party.
people who are younger and fresher blood. That way, we're not the fresh blood in the office facing a ton of opposition from every other office. You know,
That's
we're
what I'm
bringing
saying.
in
We
new
need
people.
to get into office, and once we get into office, it's like, okay, everybody that's our age that has been talking about we need to fix the system. Of course, that's also half of why I wanted to do the podcast streams on my Twitch and put it on YouTube. Is hey, people that's my age, 38, or his age, 29, who's gonna be 30 this next year.
Mhm.
Let's get our names in the ballots. Let's start GoFundMe's or Kickstarters and all get the money that we don't have. Of course, if you have the money and you actually want to fix the system, not like, no, I'm rich, I want to stay rich. No, I don't want those people. I want the people who actually want to fix the system.
Yep.
Because the low middle class and lower, even the high middle class,
We're shrinking.
should know that we need to fix the system because the 1%ers screw it for all of us because that's usually who's in office. Because once you get in office, you get paid so much, you become a 1%er.
Yep.
I want to get in office, keep myself at a freaking middle class to low middle class the way I run everything because that's what I was taught, that's how I was raised. Okay, no, we pay our bills, we make sure there's food on the table, we move from there. Now, if we can do that for everybody without completely breaking the bank, even though the bank's complete BS and they have money, even though they don't say they have money, because half the money they do, like we were talking about with the loans, is complete BS.
Yep.
We need to fix the system so that way, if they say they have the money, then that's what they give you, actual money.
Yeah.
Because all this digital crap, this fake money, this promised money, is BS. Basically, fix it so that way, anybody who has a home loan, if the bank actually doesn't have the millions of dollars to do all those hundreds of thousands of dollars in loans, all home loans are done and basically you own your house for nothing. Because you shouldn't have to pay $1,000 plus, and well, because interest just went down because of the crappy year we just had. But it's the thing of $800 or more dollars, but like I said, it's usually $1,000 up on your mortgage. The bad part is, well, dude, that's how much it costs to freaking rent an apartment now. That's kind of BS that it costs as much to rent an apartment as it does to buy a house. But because you're renting an apartment, you can't save up enough money to put a down payment to get a loan to buy a house. And
Yep.
look at all these houses that nobody's buying that are just sitting there going, ooh, we're for sale, ooh, we're for sale. Because everybody keeps moving to go get jobs that make more money, but yet nobody's paying off anything. It's all complete BS. The only way you pay off your house is by selling it, pay off the bank, to go buy a new house. Because whatever you didn't have to pay off, because you've already been paying on your house for 7 to 10 years, is the money you have for down payment to buy a new house. It's like, okay, that's infinity BS. We owe people money who don't have money because they're imaginary. F you, man.
Right.
Because I'm sorry, that's irritating. I mean, because I know with as much as my home loan cost, even though my credit was decent at the time, it was like 7 something.
Yeah.
Now because I got a home loan, it's at like 6 something.
Are you guys
I'm
still
like-
going?
That's complete BS.
Hey Tim, are you guys still going?
Yeah.
I need Thomas's help. The bunk bed came unscrewed and it's barely holding on.
Go.
I'll be right back.
I got this home.
Your turn.
Grab the toolbox.
The what?
Grab
Toolbox.
the toolbox.
Where's the toolbox?
Under shit.
Oh wait, it's right there.
Yeah.
But what was I talking about?
You were
Ah,
talking
yeah.
about home loans, percentages.
Well, loans and whatnot. For one, we need to. The interest rate is crap right now, so any loan you have is decent. So that part's not really the big issue right now. Because of the crappy year we've had, all the loans are kind of basically just, well, you don't have to pay that much because interest rates are going down because the market's going to crap because nobody has any money. But the real part is, all the loans, like I was talking about, I heard something
No.
from a
They're just trying to look at
guy doing some sort of like on stage BS podcast about this is how we're helping. I can't remember what region it was in Africa, but it's the thing of we're helping these people sue the banks because they don't have the money, and you can't give a loan to somebody so that way they can buy a house or buy land for themselves when you ain't got the money yourselves. You're giving a BS loan for money you're gonna get from them for 3 times that much because of how much they're paying. Like half the home loans are like 30 years, well 15 to 30 years, maybe even I think the longest one is 45 to 50. But by the time you're done paying your loan, that's even on your cars. You're paying 2 to 3 times what the original loan was because of interest and BS, and that's kind of bullcrap. If my car's worth $10,000, the loan should be okay. You're gonna pay this much until you pay off the $10,000 the bank gave you. So that way, it's equal. It's flat. It's not you're paying $20,000 for a $10,000 car. That's BS. But this is some of the stuff I want to fix when going into office. No, don't block. Don't go. But plus if we fix that, then we'll have enough money, in my opinion, or at least we should, if we fix the system, the economy, so that way the schools get what they need, but they don't have to pay outrageous amounts to get the funding for it because it's just, okay, no, you're getting it because it's a school, you need this stuff. Now, the only ones I think should pay for the school stuff is private schools or schools where you have to pay for it. If you have to pay to get your kid into this school because it's so badass or kick butt, that is the school that should have to pay out the wazoo. Public schools should not have to pay out the butt, even though they get the tax write-offable for the teachers and stuff to buy supplies for the school. The funny part is, they're paying out of their own pocket 99% of the time. And that's BS. Even with the dollar store, Dollar Tree, whatever you want to call it, that has stuff at a decent price, it's still BS how much you have to pay to get decent supplies for the students. Because I've even, let's see, I think this last year, school year when it started in 2020, was, no, you don't have to pay for all this stuff. The school will fork out the money. Well, yeah, the school forked out some of the money, but so did the teachers. And teachers don't get paid enough. I mean, they get paid decent money, but, I mean, that's also like me, being disabled. Well, I'm disabled, but guess what? I still get effed because I make less than half of minimum wage. And the funny part is, with everybody getting paid $9 or more, which is more than minimum wage, I'm getting more effed. Because I still have to pay money out the butt to do stuff, even though I'm a lower income household. And on that, the funny part is, my kids qualify for medical through the state because I'm on disability, but yet me being on disability, I make too much for me to get medical, for one, and for two, the brackets drops so much, but yet still so much higher than makes my money look like it's twice as much as it actually is, even though I can barely afford to buy the house I'm buying, that it ends up being I get screwed because they don't get food stamps because I make too much, even though I make less than minimum wage, which is BS. Just because I'm disabled doesn't mean I'm a slacker. It means I have a physical or mental disability that makes it hard. Now, do I have mental issues? Oh yes, everybody does. I mean, have you seen all the names they've come up with in the last 10 years? To try to say, well, I have this, I have that. Dude, I've had that symptom and those things since I was a little kid. But I grew up in the 80s and the 90s where it was like, shut up, we don't care, you don't need medicine, figure your own crap out, and be strong. I try to teach that to my kids, be strong, don't fight unless you're defending yourself like I got taught, and then my kids get in trouble, well my son more than anybody, gets in trouble for defending himself against bullies, or trying to defend the rules that the teacher set, but yet he gets in trouble because another kid wants to be a butt, and then starts a fight with him, even though he's like, no, we were told this, remember? And talks all nice and calmly, and they're like, shut up, I'm gonna do it my way. And like, it's like, dudes, no. But that's also where kids need therapists and actual, I like some of the counselors nowadays, but they need therapists that can actually help them with that sort of stuff. So that way, it's not the, you have anger issues. No, the kid that picked on me or tried to fight with me has anger issues because his parents are drunk, always works so that way they can afford the bills, and all this other stuff that just makes it so hard to, one, be a parent, or two, be a kid because you're stressed out because your parents are never home, one or both of them, and it sucks because nobody's ever there because everybody's trying to take care of bills and work their butts off. And if you got 2 or 3 jobs, or like me, you're disabled, and the government rules say I can make up to 900 and something without it affecting my disability a month if I actually have a job, but yet that's so low on the actually making money, because if I make more than, I think it was $9.25 a month, and I can't do that having any minimum wage job because that's not 40 hours a week, one, which is good for my disability because I'm not working myself to death, but two, that's such a little amount of money. It barely helps. It'll help a little bit if I'm trying to feed myself while I'm off working or trying to do other stuff. Like I try to eat like I know I'm supposed to while I'm working out, but with everything going on in my life, I can't exactly do that. And then I end up eating too much food at home, and then I get fussed at because it's not, I'm not fussing at you because you're eating too much, I'm fussing at you because you apparently don't see how much you eat. No, I see how much I eat. That's why I'm trying to do stuff to make a few extra bucks, like donate plasma, basically selling your soul to help make medicine, so that way other people can live. But I'm a douche because I try to use some of that extra money I'm making on the side to buy myself food, so that way I'm not hurting my family by eating all the food that's supposed to be for everybody else in the household. I'm trying to keep on task. So I have to do stuff so that way I can afford to feed myself the amount of protein I need to build muscles to basically become like Goku here. Gotta get my fingers straight. Sorry you can't see that on Twitch, but it's on the video. It'll be on YouTube. Dark Thandar on YouTube. But yeah, it's weird how that works, because you can't do what you need to do to become strong, to do what they've proven to make muscles. And the funny part is, the last person who complained at me about how much I eat didn't understand you gotta eat like that to build muscle. And then the funny part is, because the food tastes so good, my kids are like, oh, I want some. And then I got fussed at by my significant other that, you need to quit feeding them that. That's for bodybuilders. I'm like, no, it's high protein diet. it's not for bodybuilders. It's so that way you don't put on extra fat. It's so that way, because you're eating so much protein, you're burning more calories than you're putting in. So that way you're actually in the negative on your calories, or right on par with your calories, and you can build muscle without having to worry about screwing the whole system or yourself. But yet you can still be healthy, you can still be fit, and you don't have to be young. Because this year now, because we're in 2021, I'm basically going to the gym every day, except for like the last couple of weeks, because of kids being out of school. I can't run off at the butt crack of dawn. Well, almost the butt crack of dawn is like 9 o'clock and 8, between 8 and 9 o'clock in the morning to go to the gym to work out for 2 to 3 hours.
Yep.
So that way I can be badass, ripped as hell, and telling everybody, screw you, I am this awesome. Even though I already know I am this awesome, I'm just not completely this awesome because my peckers aren't all that big.
It's like what
My
are you doing?
pecker is, but my pecs aren't.
Build more muscles. Remember that?
Yeah, well, no, I was trying to do it with Mom and Judy, but that didn't work out because I had the weights too low for them, so my muscles didn't go, yeah, look at this. So I'm like, well, that sucks. I'm about ready to delete those videos. They didn't show enough muscle. When we go work out, we're going to have to put more weights on it so that way I can actually show my flex and put that on YouTube.
He wants to be like Arnold Schwarzenegger, the governor of California, except for
No, I want to make that motherfucker look like he's small compared to me.
He wants to make Arnold look like a Chihuahua while he's the Doberman.
Well, before I get the government and while in government.
Yep.
Hey, we need some stuff done. You gotta wait, my workout's not done yet. Dude, you've been in here for 6 hours. Shut up, I got 1 more hour. That's what I want. I want to be the guy who's arrogant, but at the same time, I know it's not arrogance, it's just me knowing I'm that badass. Because I know I am. I've always had that mentality. I taught that to Amber, which she didn't fully take it on. But I mean, she still has that arrogance, pride, even though pride's a bad word to use, because it's just, I know I'm that badass, I just am.
No, like, she's kind of like that when she decides to be sultry, but for some reason, she's like way too fucking humble and like will talk trash on herself first before she ever compliments herself.
That's a fucking chick thing.
Yeah.
These guys were so assholes.
She's like over there flipping off right now, just so you know.
I saw, but it's kind of like
them.
the whole guy thing. We're too prideful because we think we're badass when we're not. Actually, no, you are that badass, male or female. Everybody looks good. Everybody's attractive. It's just if you don't believe it, nobody else is gonna believe it. That's like, no offense to the chicks who keep getting guys who beat the crap out of them, but it's because I'm worthless. I don't deserve a good man. And then the next guy's like, she's an easy target. I'm gonna pick her.
Yeah, especially since dudes love submissive chicks.
Well, it's not even that. Some people misunderstand what submissive and dominant is. They don't have the right mentality. I'm BDSM. Dude, you don't even know what the real freaking thing is because the way it is now, it's, no offense, some of the older guys from BDSM from like the 70s and the 80s who were like my age, 38 at that time, maybe a little bit younger, like 30, got taught what's going on now is kind of light. It's like, you are a light ass. You're a lightweight. You can't handle what I got taught when I was your age. No, because everybody's broken. That's why I like, no offense to my family, and we've proven it with Cam, my brother's wife, that because she's not a potter and had to deal with some of the pain and stuff. I mean, even with you, with your last name, it's the P's. That's why we call this the crazy P's. Because we have the mentality of, no, pain is not an issue. Why? Because pain is life. We deal with it, we keep moving. I mean, the only one who doesn't act like that in your family is your stupid little brother. Shut up, bitch. Grow up.
Yeah,
excuse my French, but
tonight he was less than stellar about this. He always tries to. He always tries to get me and like his friend Jonah and like.
Or me when I'm in the background and I say bullshit.
Yeah, he tries to get them to validate him, and he goes over the top with it. And today, him and Jose got in an argument again, and it led to escalation in which they were, they basically physically got involved, and then one of them had to separate from the other, and it was not a fun time hearing them talk about it. So that's the thing.
No, but stupid is as stupid does, and I'm sorry, that's a factor. Humans are stupid. Now, we might be dumb creatures, but we're not all dumb. Some of us are actually stupid. I'm sorry, you can't. I'm gonna take a Ron here, Ron White. I think it was White. Yeah, you can't fix stupid. No, you can't. You can try to teach them smart, but that doesn't always work either. Damn you.
Yeah.
Sorry, background BS. Gotta blow my nose. Oh, I hate this time of year. My freaking nose gets stuffed up. It's COVID. No, it's not. I just got nose issues. I've had
Oh.
this issue since I lived in Oklahoma. The only crappy part about Oklahoma, it was so moist.
We'll partially blame media for why everyone just assumes COVID for everything now.
Well, yes, because you're sick. That must be the disease that's killing everybody. No, it's called the common cold, dum-dum.
Yep.
I'm sorry. I've been doing this for 38 years. I know what the symptoms are for me. The symptoms are absolutely nothing. I don't get symptoms anymore. I get a stuffy nose because I have bad circulation in my nose and bad breathing because I can't breathe through my nose because of the... When I was growing up, I never learned how to do that properly. That's a mental thing, and I know that. I've tried to teach myself how to breathe through my nose, but that's also like the whole breathing thing, where you're not supposed to breathe through your chest. Go, no, you're supposed to breathe through your diaphragm. But if you breathe through your diaphragm properly,
By the way,
so
that's how
basically
he-
you're doing
that's
your own workout.
That's how he also does his little pet presses. Like he'll be at the gym, he'll be like, and like his like pushing it all the way up with his arms, but he's focusing more on his chest, and he's just like,
You gotta show off. You
we're-
gotta show it off.
we're constantly trying to spot him and stuff, and I'll like go over there and I'll be like watching him, and then like I'll like try to grab it, and he'll be like, no, I'm fine. And then like sometimes he'll play it off.
That's
and
my
shit, and
pompous.
he's totally
teaching.
straining and being like his face is turning beet red, and he's just like, "Arr," and I'm just like going, I'm gonna help.
Exactly. No, but see, that's half the fun of working out. You're gonna drop it. No, I'm not. And you just you gotta get the extra energy.
Yeah, I watched too much Dragon Ball Z when he was younger.
Well, no, it's also watching half of the video. Well,
Wrestling, Dragon Ball
well,
Z.
not
all
even
that other
wrestling. It's
stuff.
just watching some of these people work out. Like the one guy I showed you, which I can't show you because my phone's up there. I can't remember- well, no, I can't remember his name off the top of my head. That's on
That's on Twitch.
YouTube. It's the guy who I showed you, and you liked his humor because it's the if you're not running and actually trying, you're
Yeah.
basically doing a half-ass workout. Exactly. If your face isn't red and that last rep isn't that hard, dude,
Yeah.
you ain't got enough weight on there. Put more weight on or do 2 more reps. Because if you're not pushing yourself hard, then you're not technically working out. You're just I'm flexing my muscles. No. I want to push myself hard so that way I make Goku look like a bitch.
Yeah, for me it's
And
like
that's my mentality.
whenever
You know
I've been
that.
whenever I've been pressing and stuff like that and doing my own workouts and stuff, I'm always trying to like pace myself essentially, get into like a rhythm and a flow of it, because it's like you're basically moving your body just repeatedly one way, and you're just like 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, but you
and
gotta
then
stop
over and over
counting.
again.
It's the I'm gonna do. You count, but you're not doing it to a certain number. You do it until that hurts like my arms are gonna fall off. Okay, 2 more reps because my arms are gonna fall off. But if I go that hard, in 3 or 4 days, you'll actually notice. I went from here to look at those shoulders, sort of thing. But that's like the whole. Let's record me actually working out and lifting heavy weights. Oh wait, we can't. Nephi's never in town on workout day. Shit.
Yep.
No offense, bro, but that's the truth. But that's my mentality with life. You don't know how you're doing it. You're doing bad form. Well, if you want to know the truth, Arnold, the guy who originally played the Hulk, and all those weightlifters around that time,
Lou
in
Ferrigno.
the 70s and the 80s, well, they were big in the 60s and 70s, and stayed big in the 80s. Why? Because their form was crap, so they put in so much muscles that you're not supposed to put in the exercise that it's actually funny because they ended up getting big as shit because their form was crap.
Yeah.
That's why it's like form. No, fuck form, dude. Work out. If you can't feel it in that muscle, change the workout till you can.
Yeah.
Because everybody's different. I can't feel the bench press doing this. Okay, well, pull your arms further back. Oh, I feel that in my chest. Oh, yeah, don't go all the way out here. Just that little right here, because it pulls right there, and it's this mind-muscle connection. Because if you can't feel the muscle you're trying to work out, you're doing it wrong. You need to change it so that way you can feel it. No, and I was also doing it wrong up here. It's more like here. Because if you do it here, it's not really that's just here. But for actual chest, it's here because that's straight across.
So this just turned into PE class, just so you know.
Well, I was talking about working out, and we just went on with it. I
It's
like working out.
It's like weightlifting / PE class 101. You're back in high school, kids.
You know what? I hate it. I hated high school for the simple fact is, for lifting weights was great for the first year to 2 years. On the last year, which is the other reason I kind of left my senior year. Sorry, brain fart. Leave me alone. But my senior year is because the weightlifting teacher came up with a new thing. You have to run around the whole football field, and I think I brought this up last time on the stream, the last one, to lift weights. And I'm like, dude, I can't do that. My legs are physically handicapped. That's the only thing that's physically handicapped on me. I want to go into the gym to work out, but with the way they set it up for the football team gym,
Yeah.
it was basically a mini field, so that way they could run their their things, so that way everybody knew their place, so that way everybody knew what it was on the inside when it was too cold in winter. Pussies. But the thing was, they didn't have the leg press machine, which I liked, which was in the mini freaking one that was okay. Let me get it here on camera, right? You had the workout the changing room, the football field, the new workout room that they just made for them to do their plays, and the little weights that were over here. But the one that was over here actually had the leg press and just bench press stuff.
Yeah.
And I liked working out in that one because I could do incline, decline, regular bench press, freaking leg press like I like to do. You've seen me do leg presses, dude. Nah, only do 10. Bullshit, my legs are crap. I'm gonna take it to 20 to 30. Why? Because I'm an asshole and screw my legs. They'll recover in 3 days. And then I'll do more legs. But for those 2 days in between legs, I'm doing all upper body. It's all build this big, because this gets bigger, I'll end up building bigger legs. Because my biggest muscle on my lower half of my body is my thighs.
Yeah.
They're like freaking. Move this way.
Big boys.
They're this big.
Some big, some small, some the size of your head.
Well, no, my freaking thighs are literally the size of my head, like this. So it's like, okay, I just need to work on the calves. I've been doing that for the last 6 months.
Boy.
The bad part is with the disability, I can't flex it, so you can't see it.
You
But I can tell.
Like, stand up right now, and then you can show it off with your camera. You can rip the jeans a little bit up.
What are you talking about? That I can't flex them?
No, they just flex them and show them off a little bit.
Yeah, see my calves?
Yeah.
Okay, gotta move in more.
Yeah.
My calves are small. They don't
Yeah.
flex.
Okay.
Because also CMT deteriorates your muscles.
No, actually that, I have disproven that factor. It's not CMT. Does the Charcot Marie Tooth, which is my disability, she says CMT because that's our shorthand for it. What it does is if you don't work out your muscles enough, like last year, my bicep was like twice the size.
Yeah.
But that's because I was on a constant workout. Now that, no offense, the little brother that was sitting here trying to block Goku and Spider-Man's fusion with his big ass head. But the thing is, if I'm on a constant workout, the thing with the CMTs, if you constantly work out the muscles, they grow. If
Yeah.
you stop or slack on your workout, they deteriorate in size, not in actual strength. Because I proved this because when I first started going to the gym with Nephi, when I was using his Bring Somebody With You membership, before I decided to start paying for it myself, when he decided to stop for, I think it was like 6 months, paying for the Bring a Friend With You membership, I ended up bench pressing 135, because the bar is 45, and then you have the 45 on each side, which is 90, plus 45 is 135. For fun, I did that to see if I could still do what I did in high school, and I did it better than I did in high school. I did like 5 to 10 reps.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not back there now because I kind of slacked because Nephi wouldn't go with me all the time. He was working. The schedule didn't work out. But when I was going with him for a year, I was doing that. And heck, I've even got Mom and Amber who could barely do the bar when we first started working out. When I first started working out with them, what was it, 3-4 months ago now?
About 3 months.
Yeah. But the thing is, now y'all can do the 10 pounds on the bar without, it's not freaking y'all straining y'allself to all hell. Y'all are actually working out. And then you can actually tell they're actually getting a workout in. It's not, oh my god, I can't lift it. No, it's, okay,
all
we
like,
can do this. But you can see the slight strain.
Mhm.
That's what I like.
I got pictures. Tom's got a hard on.
Oh,
Shut
yeah.
up, hooker.
Oh yeah.
But I mean, that's my thing. I want to be the guy who's so ripped, but at the same time being disabled, but being ripped as shit. It's like, how the hell is he that ripped? He's handicapped. I go to the gym for 4 hours every day. Kiss my ass. That's why I am badass.
Yep.
Plus, with all the door dashing I've been doing, because I'm doing it under the bar, under the 925, that the disability guidelines that they changed at the beginning of the last year, of 2020, in January.
Get jump challenge.
Well, it can't affect me because I can't go to disability to talk to them about it, to tell them my plan like they say to in the rule book. But you can't do that because you can't get in the office and you can't call them because nobody's there because of the COVID crap. And don't get all fussy, Twitch, because I said that word. Kiss my grits. But anywho, the bad part about that is
He's super proud, can't you tell?
I'm a badass
I'm
and I
like
know
trying
it.
to point
No.
at the right person.
No.
Yeah, Goku and me, we're
Tom.
badass and we know it.
Thomas, you got it wrong. It's not that he's proud. He's just shameless.
I'm confident, proud,
I see what you did
shameless, and I don't give a shit about your opinion because my opinion matters more than yours does. Because if I don't have a good opinion about myself, who the hell is gonna like me? Nobody. So I gotta like me before anybody likes me, and I'm that badass. I love myself. And fuck everybody else's opinion because I'm just that damn good. That's why I'm going for governor. That's also the arrogance in it. I know I'm badass and I can get this shit to work. Because I've been listening to people complain about this for the last 30 years since I was 8, dude. So I'm gonna do it. Screw listening to everybody else complain about it. Let's just get me in office and I'll do my best. If I didn't do it in the first time, guess what? Put me in for a second one. We're gonna try to ride this train again. And guess what? By the time we're done, I'm gonna run this train like it's a fucking horse. That's my plan.
Giggity.
However, that being said, in order to not piss off certain crowds, we will also listen to the constituents, and you'll also
Well, yeah.
like understand that your opinion isn't the law. It's just
No.
your opinion.
My opinion is what
Gotta
I've been.
appeal to people.
It
No,
is.
no, he's saying
But
his opinion of himself.
Yeah. No. Okay.
No, my opinion of myself, if
Just
I
need to
can do it,
clarify.
just what do y'all want me to do? This is what we want you to do. Okay, no offense. Can we actually talk about the drugs? Because the drugs aren't killing anybody, at least this drug specifically.
Yeah,
All the rest
go
of
ahead
them
and
we
talk
can
about
throw
drugs.
away.
Go ahead and talk about drugs. Just kidding.
Oh, Twitch will really kick your butts on that. They'll go like, that's not legal where you're at, punt.
Hold on.
Legal where I'm at. Screw that. Alright, no, don't stop it. Come here, Judy.
Oh, what, did the camera glitch out?
Yep.
It froze.
Okay, so right click,
Right click.
disconnect,
Where's the disconnect button?
or, frick, I'm too drunk for this.
You're not drunk, you just think you are.
Dude, I've had, I'm working on my third.
Cool. Sex is gonna be great. Just kidding.
Shut up. We're on Twitch. Shut up.
I know.
fucker.
I know. Because Twitch is full of children.
You'll just think they're children, mother trucker.
The people that run Twitch are children, essentially.
We're trying to fix stuff on the other end for our YouTube.
Yeah, because the OBS is like going.
That's what it did last time. I mean, we just stopped.
Feel how warm my towel is.
I mean, we can just stop if we want.
Put your hand on my towel.
It's not that warm.
That's all I need to know. So you go to properties, click deactivate, and then activate.
Oh, there we are.
Dun dun.
Yay, we're not lost. You just got sound without
Cool.
any freaking video. We'll try to fix that in editing or just
Oh yeah,
put it
no,
as
I'll
blank
do
something.
I'll do to some tweaking with filters and stuff and sound effects so that like it like feels naturally guided.
Or you could just download
Post.
the sequence off of Twitch and sync it up.
Yeah, we can always do that because I have my thing and I'll just bring over my phone and we'll just do it that way.
There's gonna be some posts.
I'm not gonna be able
Stuff
to get
going
back
on.
up on the bed.
Why?
She made herself too lightheaded
She's
by
gonna-
hopping down.
Gonna tip a little bit. She's gonna go cow tipping.
No, but we'll just end it here since it's done it twice now. So this has been the Crazy Peas. I'm Tim Potter. This is,
Thomas Paxton.
and we'll see y'all next. Well, actually on Twitch
You're
we'll
gonna
see you in a
s-
couple of days.
You're gonna see us Saturday, so we're gonna do this again Saturday because we missed last Saturday. We felt really bad about that, but
That's why we're doing it
came
tonight.
in, so
Holiday
we
special.
did a New Year's
exactly.
thing,
Holiday special.
and then we're gonna do it again Saturday. But next Saturday we're gonna talk more about stories, less about government, more about stories, more about other stuff. That way you're not like feeling like you're in government class the entire time. That
we
way
won't
it feels,
overload you with this
yeah,
stuff.
because Tim's been on a massive governor kick recently, and that's part of why it's been happening. I like to have
Sorry
a
if I
bit
keep
of a
bringing it
variety.
up.
Hey, I bring it as a talking point because I know you want to fucking talk about it, but that's why. But anyway,
It is what it is.
this has been the Crazy Peas. Hope you guys have had a fun time while it's been happening, and we'll see you again Saturday.
Have fun, y'all.
Woo!
Alright, grab my phone and hit stop. Or just click on the screen. There should be a way to end up top.